Hey, hi everybody. It's Pat and Zan. We're back. We're here. Zan's dragon. Did it come off the wall? Did you pull it off the wall?
I was doing my big excited and I did whap it. So,
Ah!
you know, there we go. It's just gonna be a little cattywampus. Cattywampus? I don't know. It's gonna be something for a little while. It's fine.
Yes. Welcome back. It is 2022, and apparently we are still doing this. It is
Still Christmas.
Yeah. Welcome to Burgers and Buds, where we get just a little bit high and we talk about Bob's Burgers. Specifically today, we are continuing our trend of doing the holiday episodes. We're going to be talking about all of the Christmas episodes of Bob's Burgers. But first, we will pump the brakes. We'll introduce ourselves, let you know who we are. If that's worth caring about to you, we'll tell you about ourselves. Here we are.
We are always worth caring about, Patrick. We are always.
I was going to say it's going off the tracks. Please take it off of my hands and introduce yourself.
Okay. Yes, I am Zan. I do tabletop things and other cool things. I like to think. In a few places on the internet, I like to work with integrating tabletop role-playing games into education and therapeutic practices. I also do a little bit of writing and content creation and all that good kind of stuff. You can catch me here where I might have pitched a show title to Pat for what this will turn into after we have run out of Bob's Burgers holidays. I think we only have Leif Erikson Day left.
I mean, we do still have Valentine's Day coming up.
Oh, that's right. Oh my goodness.
I feel like
So we'll have to do that in March.
Do they have Mother's Day episodes now too, or am I making that up?
I feel like there have been a few Mother's Day. We could probably break it down into like a birthday special because I feel like every character has had some stuff.
Oh yeah, and I mean we've got plenty of things that we could do before the Bob's Burger well runs dry between best song, best any other shit that we think of.
Yeah, any of our top 10
as a way of expanding outside of the burger universe to other
programs. Hey, Nightbot,
that mean a lot to us.
Who is Nightbot? I haven't played Yugen Gray in a hot minute.
Listen, I also have not updated our shout-out commands in a hot minute.
No,
it's got your links in it, so it felt fine.
Hey, that's the important thing, isn't it? Yeah, I guess that is most of me and what I do. Pat, can you tell us a little bit about you? Who is Attack Trick?
Who?
What is Attack Trick? Where is Attack Trick?
Hi, I'm Pat. I'm Attack Trick online. I play games, tabletop role-playing games, video games, and just generally hang out with my friends who I play those things with. Here on my channel, on other channels like Blackfeather Guild, just anywhere that is happy enough to have me for the most part. Yeah.
Anywhere that is lucky enough to have you, Pat.
Yes. Yeah, and we are kind of, as Zan mentioned, have had some Urban Shadows campaigns here on this channel in the past, working out kind of what we are going to be offering in the future in terms of our tabletop role-playing offerings here. But there is more coming eventually. Things have been interesting, and I've been adjusting the schedule, but we're here tonight with Bob's Burgers, and it's great. We're very excited.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas-ish.
We're getting an early start for next year.
Yeah, we're starting for next year.
For this year.
Yes, we're pulling a Linda and starting way too early. But yeah, so what we've done, what this has been in the past. We have gone through all of the Halloween, Thanksgiving episodes. We've just kind of, as we've done before, we've kind of gone through them in chronological order and just kind of touched on our favorite bits from each of them, and seen how long that takes. And then like anybody trying to make one of those happy birthday signs, and you stretch everything out at the beginning and then you squeeze everything at the end. That's how that tends to run. So if you've got any specific episodes or gags or things you would like us to talk about, and want to make sure that it gets the time it deserves, please go ahead and bring that up in chat. Let us know if there's anything you'd like to contribute, any questions you want to throw in, anything like that. Because otherwise, we can talk is what we can talk and just keep getting led on tangents for a very long time. which
Yeah, I don't know if y'all noticed the theme here, but we're gonna be a little stoned, and so we might lose track of the point here and there. You know.
yeah. Speaking of which, what do you have? What do you have prepared for the
Oh,
evening?
so if y'all have seen the other ones of these, we tend to start by taking an edible of some kind or some RSO, which is going to be a pretty concentrated THC, like real thick oil. Um, However, I am someone who does not really have snack food in their apartment, so I don't have like a potato chip to put it on. So, and I haven't showed this to Pat yet, so we're all in for a treat. I have put my RSO today on a shaved piece of Parmesan.
When you told me to be prepared, I was just expecting like it would be like an embarrassing snack.
Shaved Parmesan, baby.
Uh, I
This
love
is
that that's
this
how
is
we're starting
before
tonight.
yeah, this is before any intoxication. This is just our natural bullshit.
What I'm going to be taking is I've got from True Leave, the dispensary, I've got just one of their True Gel edibles, a caramel apple flavored sativa gummy.
Yeah. I don't know what RSO this is. I have two, and I have made the mistake of taking them out of the package. So it's either Galactic Jack or Peppermint Kush. It's one of the two.
So should we do this thing then?
Let's you know what, Matt? Let's just fucking do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think before we get started, I'll just because I know we've talked about this like off stream before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Overall, Christmas versus the other holiday themes. What do you think? Stronger, weaker, middle?
Oh, see, that is not the question I thought you were going to ask. In terms of like episode quality, whether it's like
Yeah,
the Christmas
theme
ones are more
quality.
memorable than like the other holidays.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. Thanksgiving is just so solid. I think Thanksgiving kind of
Yeah,
stands out the
Thanksgiving.
most.
100%. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I don't know. I hadn't really thought to compare like the Halloween and Christmas episodes.
Pat, what are you doing in November if you aren't arguing if Halloween or Christmas has ownership over November?
Over November. I don't know. I feel like, gosh, I don't think I've given this topic the amount of thought it deserves in my
Oh
head,
my
but
goodness.
I think my initial response is like leaning more towards preferring the Halloween episodes because I think they've got a little bit more variety to them, whereas kind
Yeah.
of like the Christmas episodes are kind of wrapped up more in like traditional Christmas season lessons for the most, with a few exceptions like this season.
Yeah.
Where it's just off the wall shit. But I feel like the Halloween episodes are able to incorporate more off the wall weird ideas, which I feel like is gonna sound very bullshit when we talk about our very first Christmas episode, which incorporates
Yeah.
a really weird idea into Christmas. Like all of our other holidays, Bob's Burgers did not start doing their holiday episodes till season 3. So our first Christmas episode is season 3, episode 9. God rest ye merry gentle mannequins. Because when I think Christmas, I think of the classic movie Mannequin, and that those two ideas need to be forced together.
But Pat, this isn't the regular mannequin. This is inverse mannequin.
Well, no, that's the
Oh,
plot
it
of
is
the movie
mannequin.
Mannequin.
Yeah. Oh, that is the plot of the movie Mannequin. You know what? I'm gonna surprise you with something. I have not seen the movie Mannequin.
I also haven't. I know enough about Mannequin to know when it's being referenced. Because when else would we be talking about mannequins?
I
Except
only
for
know
murder
it from
mannequins.
I only know it from the American Dad. There was the like they did
I know
a little,
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
American
I know.
Dad is another show that I've got like an encyclopedic knowledge base
I did
of.
until like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Like,
Yes.
I was big on American Dad,
Same.
and then I just fell off when I moved to Japan.
I think that's about where my knowledge extends up to as well. But yeah, there's this. So our kickoff, our first Christmas episode of Bob's Burgers, we get in season 3, when Bob finds out that they have, and they're talking about how they don't have enough money to get fun Christmas gifts for the kids, which the kids' demands 2 out of 3 are out there and not real gifts anyway. Do you remember the the requests?
Oh,
Tina's was the reasonable one, as I'm sure you'd assume.
yeah. I'm gonna assume that was Louise an apartment?
It was no studios.
Okay,
No
no
studios.
studios. You know what? Louise is better than me. What can I say? Jeans was, I'm gonna say, a 7-piece marching band.
Nope.
Oh,
If
a
anything,
9-piece?
more specific than that.
Oh, Queen Latifah from the UNITY phase.
It was the actual bobsled from Cool Runnings.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Very reasonable. Very obtainable.
And then Tina's was a dry erase board. So she could write down all her private thoughts and then erase them before anyone could see it.
Do you think that in the okay, it's not the See Me Now. That's not the name of the episode. But in the episode where Teddy gets a boat, do you think that that is where the eraser that she is holding on to for that entire episode? Do you think that that's from her dry erase board?
No, so I thought it was. So Bob is very attached to the eraser in that one, and I don't think they
Yeah.
ever get her the dry erase board. Is the thing.
Oh, what a bummer. Okay. Well,
I assumed it was the eraser from the chalkboard where he puts the burger of the
See,
days.
I can't imagine Bob even like to letting her prove a point. I can't imagine him saying okay to taking the wonderful burger.
Well, I don't think he finds out until she's already taken it like out onto the boat with them. To be fair, like they're at the beach explaining it. They're at the docks
That's right.
because she does drop and lose it once before they get on the boat.
Oh shit. Okay, wait, but Bob Rescue Mary Gentleman Mannequin.
Yeah, so the kids were asking for those gifts. The episode starts about Bob saying like, "Oh no, we don't even have money for a dry erase board." They find out that one of Bob's uncles, God, what the fuck was the uncle's name? I don't remember. Uncle so and so died. Uncle, he was their uncle that owned the department store at the mall before the mall closed it down. That is not any backstory you have to know. It literally came up in that episode. But so they get a storage unit is what they inherit. They go out there and they find a guy living in there, who then Linda invites to move into their home.
Yeah, Chet.
Chet.
Chet, the completely normal human.
Yep, Chet. Yep. Chet, short for Chester, long for Cha, is how he introduces himself.
Voiced by none other than Zach Galifianakis.
Yes, this is. I you are better than I am about this, but you're very good at catching when a voice actor does more than one character on this show, because I did not realize that was Zach Galifianakis.
It drives me up the fucking wall.
I mean, it's just so different than Felix that I don't think
Yeah.
I would have ever made the connection.
Yeah, right. It's very good. It's very good. But yeah, so I think kind of continuing on what you said, they find poor Chet chilling out in a storage unit, and I mean it is Christmas, and they're not going to keep paying for the storage unit. That's going to lapse. So Chet comes to live with him for just a little while. But that's useful because Chet has a secret skill.
Yes, we start over the course of the next several days. Chet starts putting together Christmas displays in the windows of the store. You found out he used to be in charge of the Christmas displays at the department store, and eventually reveals that he's talking to the kids about his ex-wife who is not there, how his family's not with him on Christmas. Is it the day before Christmas that we finally get the reveal, where he's just like wistfully looking out the window humming his wife's favorite Christmas song, and pulls out the photo to show Bob and Linda the picture of his wife, and we see that she is a mannequin.
Yes.
But don't worry, says Chet, because he's also a mannequin. Or he was a mannequin, but he's human now. But he's not a murder mannequin. He's a normal mannequin, so don't be scared.
He's probably a murder mannequin.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
It's when essentially we get the tragic love story of Chet and his wife mannequin as they meet as mannequins in the department store and are separated when the department store is closed down by the mall. And Chet insists that he was put into storage and that the heartbreak must have caused him to become human so he can have a heart to feel pain.
Now we are leaving out, and I think this is my one of my favorite parts of the episode when his bride to be fell and injured herself, and she got a replacement hand because her right one broke, but unfortunately the store was out of right hands, so she just had two left hands. And I quote, "That meant there was only one question: which hand do I put the ring on?" And I don't know, I think that was fun. That was a good one. But I do believe. Oh no, okay. That is good to know, Pat. Thank you for the heads up on that. I do believe that I really. No, I do believe that the day that this took place was actually on my birthday. It's actually on December 23rd because then the next day, all hell breaks loose.
Got it. Yep. That makes sense because they wouldn't be having a display on Christmas because they'd be closed, so it had to be the Christmas Eve display. Yes. So it's we get the mannequin reveal. Linda is crying because it's a fantastic romantic love story. Bob is skeptical that Chet was ever a mannequin, and tells him such and says that his wife is probably in a dump somewhere.
Yeah, surprisingly brutal from the cast of Bob's Burgers.
Yep.
Normally not this like dream zombie, I guess is what we could call it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like we do get, obviously Linda is the one that's usually more prone to playing along with delusions of people. Speak like just the See Me Now episode that you referenced. Like we've got when they split up on the island from the angry cows, and Linda starts doing role playing between Teddy and his ex-wife, and convinces him that they're gonna get back together.
Oh, Linda, what are you doing?
But yeah, so Chet has big. Essentially, everybody wakes up the following morning to Chet's display, which is just. He's gone murder mannequin. Essentially, like decapitated reindeer. I think a snowman hung himself. Essentially, we've got ketchup bottles just squirting arterial spray. It was very well put together. The effects were great.
Do you think this is where Louise got the idea for the Quirky Turkey episode? That was like season 5, I think.
I wonder if it's part of me thinks it's just growing up around meat in the restaurant that the kids know what ways they can use it for other projects.
See, that's the thing. It's all like that whole display and the Quirky Turkey are innards, gizzards,
Yes.
their intestines,
Yes.
and what have you. And I don't feel like Bob serves haggis.
No, and it's. I mean, she specifically says in Quirky Turkeys how hard it was to get all of that. Just people don't want to sell this stuff to a 9-year-old. So yeah, I don't know, but there's other episodes where like they're just so playful with the meat that I'm like, okay, this is just part of their lives at this point. I mean, specifically like Meat Man comes to mind when they're doing the stop motion with the meat actor, or the Wagstaff School News where they're trying to recreate the concept of walking poop through the school, and they just throw some burgers on the ground and start walking around in it. I feel like they've got this superpower that's using meat to solve situations you wouldn't expect to use meat.
Yeah, that sounds right. But how do they fix him? Like so Mickey, not Mickey. Oh, not Mickey. Whatever.
Chet does. I feel. Gosh, if it wasn't for the whole backstory, I feel like this could have been a Mickey episode.
Right?
I feel like
100%. This could have been it.
Maybe it's just the weird guy living in the basement vibe of the two of them, since we get that from both of them. Because Mickey lived in the basement of the restaurant when he was trying to dig his tunnel into the bank.
Yeah, but so did Gyro.
With his calypso music.
But Gyro was there too. And
yeah.
Gyro wasn't that creepy. Gyro wasn't like that creepy.
No, no, Gyro was more like cult creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, this episode. Um, God, why can't I remember the name of Chet's wife? We just keep, I keep, I keep calling her the mannequin because I can't think of the name. But, yes, so Chet has created the window display of his soul, which is Murder Christmas. Um, I forget what Bob's solution to this was because like the kids went out to try and find the mannequin on their own, and then he like lectures them when they get back, saying that he told them not to. So I don't know what his solution was going to be. I can't remember that.
I think he was just going to ask him to leave.
That oh god yeah, because what at that point what do you do? Because he still had like another night before he was going to get kicked out. It
Yeah,
was like
and I
the
mean,
deal was that he could stay through Christmas.
yeah, and everybody flipped their shit when they saw the display that morning.
Yeah.
Oh, Edith was not happy.
Well, no, so they didn't see the display. It was always covered, and like Linda had to be out there stalling because she was doing like her Christmas like improvisational rap and songs and everything.
Oh.
So it's like the family finds the display in the morning, but they keep it covered and under wraps, so everybody's just outside and cold and waiting and like letting the hype build while they look for the mannequin, which they do eventually find. Essentially, we get the montage of the kids going around town with the picture of Nadine. Her name is Nadine. I just thought of
That's right.
Chet convinced that she would be modeling something in Paris or Milan. The kids go around town with just a picture of a fucking mannequin and asking if anybody recognizes it, and somebody does. Do you remember who points them in the right direction?
Oh, I don't remember who sends them to the shop. No.
It's Marshmallow. It's
Oh,
fucking
of course it's Marshmallow.
Of course it's Marshmallow.
She's so free.
Yeah.
She has no master. She lives by her own rules.
Yes. So yeah, Marshmallow directs them to a sex shop where the two left-handed mannequin is on display in the window. Bob tries to buy her. The owner of the sex shop is not they're just not willing to sell. She brings in too many customers, and it's apparently the biggest day of the year for them is the day before Christmas.
Batteries. You got to sell batteries.
And then, gosh, how does the plan unfold of them just stealing her? Is that entirely a kid's decision, and Bob just goes along with it?
I think Bob is trying to work out a fair and reasonable price, and then the kids just steal it and run away.
Yeah. Yes, they set loose all of the personal massagers, coat the floor in lube to make their escape easier, and grab this mannequin and run.
Forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Yep. Again, this is Bob's Burgers' first Christmas episode.
And this guy actually turns out to be a recurring character, which is great because Chet isn't.
No, Chet is not. Chet does not come back. Once he's skipping ahead to the end, we find out that Chet has a fucking penthouse in Manhattan that's been getting renovated the whole time. So I assume that's where he and Nadine are living. But yeah, they get Nadine back. Chet throws together a nativity scene, which gets interrupted when they finally unveil it by the sex shop owner who trashes it. Eventually, the kids all say that they can give all of the extra money that Chet pulled into the restaurant with his displays to Chet so that they could buy Nadine instead of getting the kids their fancy bobsleds and apartments and dry erase boards. Yeah, that was kind of it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of ended generic happy ending.
Yeah, things worked out. Yeah. And Chet and Nadine are back together. They proposed a couple's vacation, which I don't think ever happened. Linda and Nadine were supposed to work out the details.
I do think that it's very interesting, though, the kids' little discourse as Chet was smooching on the mannequin there at the end. Like, oh look, she's turning into real. No, no,
Tina? Yeah.
he's turning into a mannequin.
Oh wait,
No,
no,
wait, nothing's happening.
happening.
Very good. Great quality Tina line right there. Quality Tina.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, where did this rank up on, like, so we've got 9 episodes, yeah?
Do we have 9 or 10? I think there's 10. Because we
Yeah, I
have
think
we have 12
I believe.
seasons, and 2 of them did not have Christmas episodes.
You are right. It is 10, and for some reason, my list only has 9. So there is one of them that I have just completely left off. Apparently,
One of them that's just left your mind. So,
Yep.
goodbye. Not ranking you. I don't. It's not to get too ahead of myself, but this is in my top 3. I thought I like it just because it's. I like weird out there episodes, and like working a fucking mannequin into working a mannequin Christmas mix up is a fun deal for me. I don't think that's not. I think like we were getting at, that's not like your typical Christmas episode from other shows, and that's kind of what I liked about some of the Halloween episodes we talked about too.
yeah.
And it just all worked. Like it was, like it had like the Christmassy lesson that the kids have of like not valuing the gifts more than people's happiness, but it was about a mannequin, so it still felt like not trite and done to death type thing. So we had I don't know, just the whole fucking story of like them meeting and like falling in love was like Linda breaking down because it was done so well. The line you quoted about the like which hand to put the ring on, like they took like I feel like they took somebody's actual pitch for a rom-com from Fox and just made this Christmas episode about it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Like this is sitting at like this was definitely a movie that one of the writers pitched that never got picked up. I'm thinking the fresh new mannequin reboot was sitting at Fox for a while. But yeah, what about you? How do you feel about this one?
I mean, I thought it was good. I think that there are some ideas and some themes for this that they borrow in later episodes, in like later specials, and I don't think that they handle. I think that they handle them better in this than they do in the others.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure we'll get to that, in some of our later stuff. But I think this is probably my number 4. So it's up there. I think that there's a few. There's one that just kind of slightly beats it. But I like it. I think it was a strong open. It pulled the heartstrings at the right moment, and who doesn't love to see a Congress, a flange, a school, a swarm of dildos and vibrators just like floating around on a highly lubricated floor. That's quality entertainment right there.
And I think we talked about this with the Halloween and Thanksgiving episodes too, but for being the first season that they did holiday episodes in, they really kind of like came out swinging with them, like between Full Bars being the first Halloween episode, Indecent Thanksgiving Proposal being the first Thanksgiving episode. Like they weren't afraid to try weird shit with the holiday episodes, which I appreciated. Yeah, so that was our first one. That was God Rest Ye Merry Gentle Mannequins from season 3, which then we got season 4 with Christmas in the Car. Would you like to do?
Yeah, I actually do. So I am okay. I like Christmas in the Car. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start it out by saying that I have a very special place in my heart for Holiday from Hell episodes, and I feel like when it's stretched out, I don't. It doesn't like really scratch my itch, but man, if it's just like this one window at night and everything is going wrong, like okay, let's get all of the pain into one evening that we can. Big fan. So for this particular episode, I forget the exact. Oh no, I remember the reason. It's because Linda loves Christmas too much, and she put a Christmas tree up on the day after Thanksgiving, which is totally fine. I know a lot of people that did that. My family did that, but we used a fake tree, not Linda.
Importantly, that is the second tree she puts up that year. because she puts up her first tree on November 1st, the day after Halloween.
That's right. I've completely forgot about that. I forgot. Oh man.
They go through 2 trees this year. Because because when they get the second tree, we get the fantastic line of like, Linda, it's the day after Thanksgiving, like, wait and stop putting up Christmas stuff until at least tomorrow. And she's like, oh, it just feels like yesterday was Thanksgiving. And then Bob's just like, oh goddamn.
Yeah, so they have this dead tree, and what do you do with the dead tree but replace the dead tree? And so they head off to this tree farm where they kind of pull a little bit of a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation style. Well, I guess we'll get this tree. Though to bring back American Dad, I will say this goes better than the episode where like Stan freezes to death and has his "It's a Wonderful Life" montage.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah.
American Dad Christmas specials are just their own brand of monster too.
Yeah.
Like once they get to the season where they kill Santa Claus, and that kind of becomes the recurring theme.
I mean, and then Krampus shows up, and Krampus is Krampus, and it's whatever. Okay, that's neither here nor there. See, this is what always happens with us, Pat. Always, every single time. This is what happens. And so they don't really spend a lot of time showing the whole details about getting the tree, because that's not what's important. What's important is on the way home. And on the way home, they come across a interesting vehicle. Pat, can you tell me a little bit about this weird thing?
Right, so it is a giant candy cane truck. Think Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, but candy cane, and you got it. Also, like 18-wheeler size. I don't know how big the Wienermobile is, so I don't know.
I mean, there are some.
I don't know if the size holds up.
So I feel like this was built off of a bus frame, because there was no hinge in the like a third of the way down, like there would be on an 18-wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they never really explicitly say what that is, but it looks like it's a straight, rigid frame, which has to make it an absolute nightmare to drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, Linda is being her usual festive self, and she decides to share the Christmas spirit with whoever is driving this truck, with a lovely rendition of Jingle Bells.
Well, this is after the kids almost get I mean, we have to update our. I have not made a counter for the channel, but our personal counter of times that the family should have died.
That's right.
It's definitely included in at least once for this whole series of events. When the first time they encounter said candy cane truck, with the driver in it, is Bob asking the family if he's good to back out of this fucking tree farm, and Gene and Louise being like, yeah, you're good, as the truck is barreling down and has to slam on the brakes not to murder them all.
Yeah.
Yes, which transitions into obviously that person being upset and honking, and then, as you said, Linda honking back Jingle Bells at him.
It's just, he can't hear it, Linda. He's just hearing you honk the horn. Jingle
Kids,
Bells!
sing along. Everybody sing along.
That goes well. There is no conflict. They drive home, and then they watch A Christmas Story.
Yep. That's what happens. Yeah.
Yep.
It's, essentially, almost immediately on the way home, they run into the truck again, who is now intentionally going slow so that, like, to make them essentially waste their time. Bob tries to pass. It's one of those, like, shitty, like, 2-lane highways. The guy speeds up so that Bob can't pass, and then a plow almost kills them all. Family should have died again. They go, like, sputtering off the fucking road again. The truck shows up again at some point and then won't slow down and is trying to rear-end him. And, like, Bob ducks them into a restaurant.
Well, there's also... or no, that's going to happen after that. Bob is kind of a bootlicker in this episode. I know, hot take. But for a burger man, kind of a bootlicker.
Are we talking about him narking at the restaurant?
Yeah, him narking at the restaurant. You know what? I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say that cop is kind of an asshole.
What? No. He's just trying to eat his Dutch baby in peace, sir. No, fuck that guy. Fuck him.
And then Bob does accidentally hit a waitress. So that doesn't go well either.
Yeah, so it's their, like you said, they pop into this restaurant. Linda orders a Dutch baby, which takes, I forget how fucking long to make. It's just a thick
25
pancake.
minutes.
It's just a thick pancake, right?
Yeah.
Gene uses the bathroom. They sit. Bob tries to tell the cop about this crazy trucker. He doesn't give a shit because they're fine. It's just like, so what? You want me to make a report that this guy was mean to you? Bob accidentally smacks a tray out of a waitress's hand, and then they all promptly leave.
Yeah. But it's okay because the Dutch baby gets there a little bit 3 minutes early because it's a preemie.
Yeah, like Jesus. Yes. They get back on the road, immediately run into the fucking candy cane truck again, because what else is going to happen? It's a TV episode. The kids and Linda have been giving Bob shit the whole time because they don't believe him. Then this guy tries to murder them all again. They like find a little side road to like hide behind, which goes great. And then they can't get the car out of the snow. Then they're all gonna freeze to death. Gene's used up pretty much all the phone battery trying to request Jingle in the Jungle. That's been Gene's storyline for the whole Christmas episode, is being on the phone trying to request a very obscure Christmas song to the radio.
All about the bongos.
Yep. Simultaneously, while this has all been happening, Teddy has been trapped, attached to their fridge, just slowly dying. The reason the kids all want to get home from this tree incident is because they have set up a trap to catch Santa this year, which is they've left out cookies, they've left a note saying there's milk in the fridge, and then they've left a note in the fridge saying reach through Christmas wreath to get milk, which then cinches down on your wrist and traps you in the fridge, which Teddy sets off when he goes to make sure that Bob's ham does not dry out, because they left a ham in the oven before leaving.
Yeah. And that's why Bob was in such a hurry to get home. Yeah. And why he did not want to stop and wait for a Dutch baby.
For a fucking Dutch baby.
But this is a very important episode because this is the first time we hear Teddy's annoying song.
Which song? Wait.
He
You
is,
like Teddy's song?
I mean, he does it in that episode, and he does it when he's working on the cell phone repairs in the restaurant. And he's just in this episode, he is like strung by his wrist to it and just pressing the light button or the door closed indicator to make the light go on and off.
Yes, making himself a little rave. Gosh, eventually he tries to move the refrigerator. It collapses down on him. He's stuck just staring at Gene's finger painting until he dies.
Yep. And he does, like, we underplayed it. He does full freak out
yes,
as soon as this. He loses his fucking mind.
There's like a solid 20 seconds where he's just flailing and like circling around. It's great. We can't audibly do it justice here, just describing it. But it is just full body spasms, with the exception of the one wrist that is attached to this fridge.
It honestly reminds me of an alligator's death roll.
Yep. That's not inaccurate.
But yeah, their car is stuck and they all freeze.
Yep.
End of season.
Yep. Nah, what's his name? Candy cane guy winds up finding them. Essentially, the whole family gets out at that point. They think they're gonna die. Bob finally sees the guy who's been confronting them. He's just this sad small truck driver that's having a very bad Christmas, but wants to punch Bob in the face. I think his name is like Gary or something.
I mean, it's generic name.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, he's just having a shitty Christmas. He can't be with his family. Linda was honking at him. He's got to go. He's driving all night from a Christmas Eve parade to a Christmas Day parade. Yeah, and then the honking just made him snap.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a perfectly acceptable reason at the end of this episode that this man tried to murder this entire family multiple times over.
Multiple times. and then attempts to Harry Houdini Bob.
Yes. Yeah. Bob works out a deal with him where he will help them get their car out and back on the road in exchange for one gut punch, which is a solid gut punch from this guy.
I believe the quote is, "Linda, how do you know if you have internal bleeding?"
Yep.
Yeah, he gets punched real good, real good.
Yeah, and then it's, I think they wind up giving this attempted murderer the tree that they came all the way out there for. They give him the Dutch baby.
Of course.
Yeah, and at that point, I think they're so close to death that they've just emotionally bonded with this person who's been terrorizing them, and that's probably why all that went along.
Oh
For
yeah,
some reason,
trauma
this never,
bonding. It's a real
none of
thing.
this ever crossed me as an issue until we just started discussing it now, and I'm like, why the fuck did they be nice to this guy at the end? He just tried to kill them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much
Yeah,
that
that's-
episode. Except for we are missing the happy ending that this episode needs, and it's they're on the way home. The cell phone has died. Everybody is kind of defeated. Gene's heartbroken. It's after midnight. The ham is dry. The kids aren't there to save Santa to catch Santa. Gene has not heard "Jingle in the Jungle," and then our wonderful radio DJ, is surprised that no one has requested this one, but he's going to do everybody a solid and welcome Christmas in with Jingle in the Jungle with a lot of bongos. I mean, then like the end.
Yep, yeah, they get back in time. Teddy's to save Teddy before he dies, and then I guess they just go on and go about their day the following day without a tree.
Oh, and they still have the dead tree.
Do they? Oh, I thought it's in the trash.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, either way,
I
Bob
think
was
Linda
fine
would
with that
get
from
it.
the beginning.
I think Linda would go get the dead tree.
Yeah, Linda. I mean, we'll get to it later on, but Linda does have a fundamental misunderstanding of how trees work.
Yeah, she does.
Well, yeah,
this was. Yeah, I mean this was my number 3. Honestly, this one slightly beat out Bob Rest. I don't know. I like this one. I think it is. I really enjoy the secular. I've noticed this as I was making my list. I enjoy the secular episodes much more than I do the ones that are like actually Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like this one. I like
feel
this one
that.
a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine is like a weird mix of that. We talked a little bit about this off stream, but like with Bob's Burgers episodes, there's not any episodes I dislike, so it is kind of like a little chain of stuff that I like rewatching versus like, I'll watch it if it's on, kind of. So I know my list is, I've got my one that's my definite favorite, then I've kind of got like a group of 3 nebulous ones right underneath that, where this one and Rest Ye Merry Mannequin and then one other one are in that spot. And then we've kind of got like 2 or 3 more that are in the middle and 2 or 3 more that I'm like, I'll watch them whenever. But so we have not hit either of our favorites yet, is what I'm hearing. But we
have not.
Two that are in the top half of both of our lists. All right. Do we have anything else to say about Christmas in the car?
I mean, I'm good. That kind of wraps it up for me.
Well, then we'll go ahead. We'll jump over to season 5, episode 6, where we've got Father of the Bob. I think this is one. Why don't you just talk? Why don't you just say things?
So I'm gonna say things as someone unlike the esteemed, educated Mr. Tactric over here. I understand service industry during the holidays as someone who has done service industry like front of house management for about 6 years now. This episode stresses me the fuck out. Because anytime that someone who is in the management role of a restaurant walks out, it is just a big stressful night for everybody. And I don't know. I have a fairly interesting relationship with my family in the holidays, and so I don't necessarily enjoy the ones where it is, uh, look at how dysfunctional it is. I do really. We get to see some really good stuff about Bob's dad as the episode progresses, and we learn some fun things. There is one of my absolute pet peeves, though, when we mentioned this earlier. One of Bob's friends who owns the bar next door, the gay bar where Bob's dad goes.
The
Line
junkyard is
dancer.
apparently the name of it.
That's right. Yeah, the junkyard. I always forget the name. But that side character has the same voice as the radio DJ, who is the main, the
Is it-
exact same voice.
Is it Nick Offerman?
Might be Nick Offerman.
I feel like it's Nick Offerman.
Yes, it is Nick
Yep.
Offerman. 100% Nick Offerman.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, he's in a third episode too.
Really?
I'm seeing here. Oh, he's he's the guy of the old couple that owns the blueberry farm. He's the old man that
Of course he
the kids
is.
go work and sell marijuana for.
Another one of the kids should have died episodes.
The kids as drug mules. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
no.
Pete, I think, right? It's
Yes. Yeah, definitely Pete. I don't know. It was not a I guess it was not like a bad episode, but all the episodes with Bob and his dad stressed me out.
yeah. I
Uh
can see.
especially even we just mentioned it. The one about Bob's when he finds the soap dog.
Oh God, yes.
And then the kids wind up working on the blueberry farm. That episode.
The kids get fired from the restaurant episode.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
Of course you had a bad childhood. You don't
People with
look
good
like someone
childhoods
who
don't
had...
stand like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's rough. Man, those episodes are not my favorite. There are some really good gems in them, but that's not my bread and butter episode.
hmm Yeah, I feel that because like this episode, for those that maybe haven't seen it, it's essentially we get several flashbacks throughout the episode to Bob growing up working at his father Big Bob's diner, mixed along with essentially the kind of central story in here is the family's going to visit Big Bob for his Christmas party, which they've apparently not been to in I want to say like 7 or 8 years. It had been a while.
It was like 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Bob said like 1 or 2, and Linda was like, no, it's been longer than that. Because Bob has a 15-minute rule with his father, which is that he can only be around his father for 15 minutes, and then he says too many awful things and they need to leave.
He does say some pretty rough stuff.
Oh, yeah. We got, what were the examples we got? We got
Is
Bob
it,
opening
is
the
it-
restaurant, which was like, oh, I give it like a week or something like that. We get
So
somebody's
Gene, huh? Gene, is it too late to change that?
Yeah, we get him saying like Gene is not a good name. I think we get a birthday party where it's just like, you're a lot fatter than I was at your age. We get so those are the kind of flashbacks we get about Big Bob. Yeah. Gosh, what else? The central premise of the movie, or not movie. Words are just coming out of my mouth right now, and it doesn't matter whether they're relevant to the situation. The story of the episode is them going to Big Bob's diner, and Linda trying to essentially force this interaction as she does between Bob and his father, because Linda's very much the awkward situation pusher of get through, just do it and get through this. Christmas magic, and Christmas magic can be wine or schnapps or gin, but for the most part it's an alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of the employees has selfishly taken off at the Christmas party because his daughter is having a baby. People can be pretty selfish, is what Big Bob says. So Linda takes the opportunity to force Bob to work with his father, which obviously brings back all the memories of the flashbacks we've been getting, which were Bob making one of his like first specialty burgers for one of Big Bob's customers. The "Baby, you can chive my car" burger, which looks like a little car. Um, it looked very
Instead
tasty.
of a fucking tuna melt, it was supposed to be a tuna melt.
He's a tuna melt man. That's as usual. Big Bob comes back right before the person can eat the burger, throws it in the trash, and makes him a tuna melt.
Oh no, he does eat it. He like because the other guy was gonna like eat one of the wheels. He's like, hey, no, don't touch my wheel.
Oh no! So the guy pulls off the pickle wheel, and before anybody
Yeah.
can take a bite, Big Bob grabs it and throws it away.
Oh yeah,
Nobody
you're right.
tries
You're
it
100% right. That is
until
that's
tonight.
second iteration. That's right. Okay, you're
Because
correct.
first it all comes to a head with Henry ordering the usual while Linda has forced Bob into the kitchen with his dad, and then Bob is like, "I'm gonna make him the meal he didn't get to eat however many fucking years ago." So Bob is making a competing burger while his dad makes Henry a tuna melt. There was some other flashback. Oh, the big falling out between Bob and his dad was that essentially his Big Bob decided to like make him a partner at the restaurant, and Bob was like, no, in front of all of his customers. But he also made the announcement in front of all of his customers. It's like one of those proposals in like a public setting, you know?
I don't know if and son is a partner.
No.
Or in this particular situation. And so.
He paints slow, but he can spell like a son of a bitch.
There's some good lines in this. I'll give it that. There are some good lines. That in the not everybody wants to do everything the exact same way all the time.
To the line
at
dancers.
A line dance.
Yeah.
Very good.
On Thursdays we watch Scandal.
You support your friend's business. That is what it is.
Yeah, so Bob gets to make the burger. Henry has like a physical meltdown in front of like, no, I'm not gonna try it. What if I just smell it? What if I'm just gonna take this bite and put it in my mouth? Oh no, I'm swallowing it. Oh no, it's so good. We see that whole process, and Big Bob goes through. If anybody remembers the old Simpsons clip of Ralph Wiggum where you can see his heart break, is essentially what Big Bob goes through. Is his customers choose Bob over him, and he runs to the gay bar next door. Yeah, and like you kind of got at already, his Big Bob's regulars talk to Bob and send him over there so they can at least have a discussion about how they treat each other. I guess is how we'll phrase that.
No, we completely left out the catalyst. We left out the thing that shows Bob that his dad does in fact care.
Yeah. From the B story.
From the B story, which is the kids trying to create the best presents for was it for grandpa or for the parents?
It was for Bob, because it's, what did they get Linda? It was Tina bought Linda something, and Jean and Louise were just like, okay, put our names on that, we're good. Now what did you get Dad? And she's like, oh, I haven't gotten him anything yet. And then it's like, well, we're pulling our weight. What are you doing?
Right.
The kids are essentially, they had the idea to just throw together some arts and crafts bullshit at Big Bob's. Big Bob, having no children there, has no arts and crafts supplies, because why the fuck would you? And just tells them to go nuts in his basement. So they're just digging through all of his shit, trying to figure out what could be a present.
Boy in a bean boat.
Yep.
Boy in a bean.
Oh god, what was the name? It's they wind up deciding to make this into a competition. What was the name of it? The Mistletones is what it is called. The Mistletones.
That's right. Yeah.
Gene winds up abdicating to give himself as you mentioned, a bean bath, which is just him soaking in a cardboard box filled with filled with baked beans.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Louise is just putting together some House of Cards structure with mousetraps, I think. Like a giant mousetrap trap, and then Tina's just taking a rolling chair and like taping everything to it. So it's like a chair with a lamp on it. Just
a utility chair.
Yeah. A multi-chair tool.
Yeah. And was it like a snow globe or something that was wrapped up in the newspaper?
Eventually they all sabotage each other, or all of their shit just falls apart, and they find a snow globe, wrap it in some newspaper they find down there, and give that to Bob. who, as you mentioned, unwraps the newspaper and finds out that the newspaper is the real present all along because it was his dad saved the first review of Bob's Burgers, which was not particularly favorable. It's okay.
It wasn't bad.
No. What was it? Was service leaves something to be desired, but worth the trip. I think is what it was.
Innovative ideas, okay atmosphere, service
Okay,
leaves something to be desired.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm done. I'm stopping talking for a sec. You take over.
Yeah, I know. No, it's all good. I mean, we have kind of bounced all between the two of us and between your summary and my interjections at random points and confusion about timelines.
Well, this episode with all of the flashbacks too. I feel like we're jumping around quite a bit.
Oh, it's rough. It's real rough.
It's like fucking Lost with this episode.
But yeah, I mean that is mostly how it goes. Bob realizes that his dad does give a shit. Goes over to the bar to try to reconcile with his father, and ultimately is successful. Gets everybody back into gets ready to return to the restaurant where the kids and Linda are realizing that hey, they're actually really good at their job. They're just
they actually bothered to do it. They're really good.
Well, when they're out of that slop hole.
Yeah. Oh god, because you see it too during the home extraurant, where Gene and Louise are just like, I think I'm a great server. I think I'm a great waiter. Maybe we're just working in a terrible restaurant.
Yep. Yeah, and then ultimately it ends happily on a note of commiseration and solidarity, as Bob and Big Bob are both locked outside with the kids and Linda laughing at them.
Mm-hmm. With then like we cut to the credits with the fucking Christmas song that she sung to herself this episode about all the cold, lonely people freezing in the streets. I think the line is specifically all the cold, lonely people dying in the streets, but me and my family will be warm tonight. I'm just like, where did this song come from?
I've had a Linda song stuck in my head for the last 3 days. I blame this fucking thing that we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. So I know which one it is. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna give this to you, Pat. You let me know when we hit the Christmas episode that you think I have these songs stuck in my head.
Okay, so you've got a specific Christmas Linda
song. I have a
specific
Christmas song. I'm not saying it's a Linda song.
Okay.
It may be a Linda song. It may not be a Linda song. But there is one of these episodes that I've just had the song burned into my fucking head.
I mean, I know which one gets stuck in my head the most because we'll cover it when we get to my favorite episode because it's
oh my god! All right. Well, I think we're done with this episode. Then where does this one rank for you, there, Pat?
It's like, oh god, it's like a 6 or a 7 on the list of 10 for me. It's in the top of my bottom half of episodes. I don't hate it, but I don't go out of my way for it. It's got good moments, like you were saying.
For my bottom 4, honestly, it's kind of a toss up on the day, and at the kind of the little quick list that I was making before we went live, it's listed as my next to last.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still a Bob's Burgers holiday
exactly.
episode. It's not a bad episode.
No, like we were saying before, ranking Bob's Burgers episodes is not like a good and bad situation.
It's a spectrum of good.
Oh, and now we got season 6 and Nice Capades coming up next.
Nice Capades.
The Nice Capades.
Indeed. The Nice Capades. Is this? Oh my god! Is this? This isn't also. Oh man, I've completely forgotten his name. It was the guy we were just talking about, who's in all the episodes. Who is Santa? Who voices Santa in this? No. Oh my god. No, the
Uncle Santa Father Teddy.
Oh my killing me. You're killing me, Pat. As Santa. Who is as Santa?
Have we
Henry Winkler. Okay, that's not who I expected.
question before we dive into Nice Capades? Have we seen a Santa yet on the show prior to this point? I didn't think of this till just now, but I don't know that they've had a Santa prior to this episode we're about to talk about. Well, nope, I lied. Last episode, the friend that owns the gay bar was dressed up as Santa at Big Bob's.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got the Nice Capades.
Yes. So I think literally first thing off the bat, this episode is what I think we all assume it's a Sharper Image, although we never see the name of this store. I don't think, but the kids are essentially waiting at the mall to use a massage chair at a fancy tech store. There is an older gentleman sitting in the chair. The kids feel he's taking up too much time. Go over there and peskily, as children, ask him to leave. He's just like, yo, give me some time. I gotta go back to work. They're like, okay, we're going to be very annoying right next to you, and start playing like white noise machines and shit at high volume, and eventually drive this man away, who, in front of the children, changes into his mall Santa outfit because he is a mall Santa. They've just kicked Santa out of the massage chair.
And that's fine. He won't report that to Santa.
Yes, Louise is just like, whatever, you're a mall Santa, and he establishes the lore in the universe for her that no, all of the mall Santas report directly back to the North Pole and let them know who needs to be on which list. So I think almost immediately we transition into Louise having nightmares of just not getting any gifts for Christmas at this point. Just only getting
coal.
Just coal.
Yeah, but I mean that means that there's one easy thing to do, and it's just be nice. They've been nice all year. They just got to think of just one nice thing they did all year.
Gosh, I remember what the kids are doing this episode. What are Bob and Linda doing prior to getting sucked into this? I'm trying to remember. Were they doing anything?
I guess I think they were at the mall doing Christmas shopping.
Maybe. I guess. So yeah, because it's the kids, with Louise having these nightmares, they try everything they can to get back, like, in the good graces of this Santa. So we get several shots of them waiting again and again in line to get back to the front, where they try and bribe Santa with cookies and milk. Eventually, I think they get banned from Santa's village, right? I feel like they get kicked out. Oh, kitten.
Yeah, they definitely get kicked out at some point, and then I'm not trying to show the cat off. He's being very destructive at the moment, so we're just gonna have to train him momentarily until the zoomies wear off. I think nope, I completely forgot what I was saying.
It's cool. We were talking about the kids getting banned from the Christmas village. Which transitions into then, well, how do we convince this mall Santa that we need, like, how do we get this mall Santa that we can't access anymore to tell real Santa that we deserve presents? And they land on Ice Capades somehow. I forget how. Because it's one of the kids says something about just standing outside of the Christmas village and yelling all of the good things that they've done at Santa. And then somebody says something about the ice rink. And what's the name? The Rinky Dink is the name of it, because Mr. Fish Owner got to name it, because he's not the owner of the mall. He's the partial owner of the company that owns the debt of the mall.
Yes.
So Louise develops this idea that they need to have a Nice Capades, which is an Ice Capades where it's all about how nice they've been all year. Gets Mr. Fish Owner to give them, I forget, X amount of time at this ice rink. With the asterisk that he gets to perform a song first with Felix, who will be sensually ice dancing next to him. but I think limited to PG-13. Is that what they talked down?
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky, but they can do it. And at first, it was a 3 minute song, and then
Yep.
Fish Odor was like a five, and then Louise gave we're
Stretch.
the mute.
Yep.
We're gonna cut the power after four.
Yes.
That turned out not to be the case.
No, because we had the brothers Fish Odor performing. Then each of the kids winds up writing their own little jingle of all of the nice things that of a particularly nice thing that they've done this year, which they then God, what's the nicer version of just add on to and lie? What's the nicer expression of that?
Embellish.
Yeah, there we go. That's the fancy word. So we got Tina, who found a horseshoe crab, which she kicked back into the ocean.
She definitely didn't kick it.
Was her
She
nice deed,
Definitely didn't kick it.
which gets translated into definitely didn't kick it. It had all the right number of legs when she left it. Yeah. But also, she didn't put it in the ocean. She took it back. It went to college and is now a celebrity chef or something. Was all of the extra shit that she had to add to it. And in helping the children writing these songs and stories that they have to tell, we have the backup dancers, which is Teddy's Jewish hockey team. What is it? The Mighty Schmucks.
Yes.
Yes. So
the Mighty Schmucks.
They are ice dancers. Linda manages to put together all of the costumes in the afternoon, which is a lot of chicken nugget costumes, because then Gene's song is about how on Taco Tuesday is a day at school. He loves Taco Tuesday. He gave Rudy the last taco and had to eat cold chicken nuggets. Which they embellished the fact that he loves cold chicken nuggets and this was nothing for him to do.
I'm gonna have to push back on one thing there.
Please.
When you were given the description, you said that Taco Tuesday is a day at school. And I'm gonna controversial topic. I know. I'm gonna say Taco Tuesday is a fucking way of life.
I specifically said Taco Tuesday is a day at school because that's a line from the song.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yes,
man.
I was trying. I've been restraining myself
You're too
from breaking
subtle.
into their songs. Because it's
Didn't
something
kick
like
it.
Taco Tuesday is a day at school. It's a day that really makes me drool, or something like that. When only one taco was left, I said, "Rudy, friend, you take the rest." And the only
I
thing
am
left to eat
so impressed.
was the chicken from the deep freezer. And he ate those nuggets. He ate those evil nuggets. Yeah, he ate the nuggets. He ate the evil nuggets. Yeah. Listen, I don't know why my brain remembers the specific things it does, but stupid ass Bob's Burger songs are on the list of things that make it into that vault.
Well, if anybody out there wants to hear some of the other wonderful songs that Pat has done, both writing and performing on other streams, you can check out some of the saved episodes of oh goodness, the Standing Stones, available on the Black Feather Guild's Twitch, the Black Feather Guild's YouTube channel, and on the Fantasy Network.
Yes, that was. Oh my gosh,
We got 2 or 3 out of you in that campaign.
Oh yeah, we got 2 or 3 songs out of Pyron. That was when I played Pyron, the Pangolin Theater Nerd Were we teenagers? It was like high fantasy meets Stand By Me. I think was kind of how I would describe that show.
Yeah, it was good.
It was great. I loved that.
So good.
But yes, so chicken nuggets, horseshoe crabs that definitely have all of their legs, and then Louise comes out for the finale. I forget all of the shit that she says she did because there's like a lot of it. Like
Everything.
I know shoes to the shoeless, homes to the homeless. I remember were in there. Eventually has the moral crisis of maybe it's not right to lie about all of these things just to get gifts, and kind of like breaks down in the middle of her song and was like, no, forget it, we're shutting it down. Santa, go get gifts for Gene and Tina. I don't deserve it. And then the family all comes out and tells her about all of the ways that she has been nice throughout the year.
I just remembered what Bob and Linda were doing. They were looking for a gift for Santa's nephew.
Also, I remember they did that at the end when Santa went missing, but I couldn't remember if they had anything to do prior to the actual ice capades happening.
I want to say Bob was looking for a belt, but maybe I just need a
I
new
was
belt.
looking for a belt. I mean, that sounds like something that would just be happening.
I might be confusing that also with the episode where
where,
Bob
where he's
and
looking for pants at
Detective.
the mall.
Yeah,
Him and
yeah.
Detective Bosco go pants shop.
Ooh man, that one hits home. It hits home, Pat.
Yes, let's go to this other one. They give you wine.
Those pants are ruining you.
God. Oh, but yeah. God, what else about this episode? I don't know. I feel like this one is. I don't want to say shallow, but there's. I don't think. I don't remember there being a substantial B plot to talk about. I think it's pretty much just this main thing.
Yeah. I mean, but it's all super self-contained. Like
Yeah.
it's all in the mall for the most part. So yeah, this was the first Christmas that they had Felix. So I think that is interesting, and I will get to this in later episodes, I'm sure. This is not my favorite Felix Christmas episode, but I think it is fine.
I'm just trying to refresh myself now and looking at. Okay, no, this is because I was just like, oh yeah, Felix. Speaking of people that have tried to murder the family, and I was trying to remember in my head if that had happened already in the course of the show, and yes, yes it has. It's the end of season 4 where Felix tries to murder Bob and Mr. Fisher.
And this is after he fixes the bathroom, right? He fixes the bathroom, quote unquote, fixes the bathroom
Yes.
the first episode.
That is the first time that we meet Felix. That is, Christ, I think season 3.
Sounds
Sometime
right.
in season 3. What else was happening in that episode? I don't remember. Something in season 3, probably. Oh, it was the whale blubber episode. That's
The
one that-
ambergris.
The ambergris.
Yeah.
It was the ambergris episode, right? That's when the bathroom's getting demolished or redone, I think.
I don't know, because I felt like that was an A plot.
The bathroom? No, the bathroom was B plot.
Yeah.
The bathroom was
Really?
B
Oh
story.
shit.
Because it was we kept just getting little like clips of it in the background of like Linda talking to, I forget who Felix had to put Linda on the phone with because Felix is she's just really good with him, and Linda's just like, he's not gonna burn you. like Linda having to negotiate for Felix's people. There's the Brazilian DJ that slept on their couch for a night. It's all just like little things we get in the background.
I remember the let's see. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. I was gonna go for a goof, but I'll find a better place to throw that goof in there. Oh, there's a kidney. Yeah, so I mean it ends well. They all end well.
Yeah. It just kind of it does it ends. It's they all tell Louise all of the things that they think she's done nice for them throughout the year, which is things like reading Tina's diary so that nobody else has to, and then telling them what was in it so that everyone else can keep their hands clean. Um, or I think watching the Weather Channel with Bob, even if she doesn't want to. All of that kind of stuff. They essentially all of the things that like your family would notice you do, and then they all have a happy Christmas. And Louise does not get the shark she requested of Santa, but gets a goldfish, which I don't think we ever see again.
No, I don't think that we do. I don't think that we do either, and I think that this is unfortunately a thing that they do fairly frequently, and I think this is a consistent trend among my least favorite episodes as well, where it is the payoff is emotional growth from the kids, but it's the exact same emotional growth that they had in a different episode. Like for me, the emotional payoff here is really the exact same as Bob Rescue Mary Mannequin. It's maybe we shouldn't be shitheads.
Yeah, which I don't know. It's to me, it feels a little bit different enough from that one. But now I've already thought ahead to like another Christmas episode where I'm like, oh wait, that one's just this one again.
Oh goodness.
Like this is I feel like the lesson here is very close to the yacht episode when we get to that one.
Yeah, I
Which is
mean,
like
it's the yacht episode.
maybe lying to get presents under false circumstances is not the best idea.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a consistent theme,
Mhm.
and eh, I don't know. I don't think this is the weakest one, but it's
No, so I think that happens with a lot of the episodes that are on kind of both of our like least favorite ones is we kind of run out of things to talk about. I think the conversation tends to peter a bit because this is definitely in my like bottom 3 as well. Like this and Father of the Bob are actually like right next to each other on my list.
I think I ranked it slightly higher. I ranked it dead center at 5.
Mhm.
Um, just because I don't think it's bad. I do like a good Felix episode, and uh, I really enjoyed seeing the first hint that Teddy has a life outside of Bob
Gosh, it's
with his
always
Jewish
so
hockey lead.
it's always so weird getting these little bits of Teddy's life because there's
Yeah,
always like some weird asterisk next to it. He's just like, don't tell any of them I'm not Jewish. Just like, okay.
yeah. Just friends, you know. It's just friends. Yeah, I think this might be the first time that we actually see Teddy's private life.
Hmm. Yeah, because we do just get random clips. It's we get like obviously the episode like where he babysat them was I think was probably one of the first times we got to see more of Teddy's personality come out and like him actually having to entertain the kids and all of that. But it's a while it like you said it's rare that we get him a picture of anything he does outside of his interactions with the Belchers.
I feel like this is after we learn about the 3D deepening,
The 3D, but
right?
yes, definitely.
Okay, so we have seen that like Teddy uh, used to be an entirely different person, and
Hmm.
could even lay the smooches down
Hmm.
if we needed to.
Before that evil shark ruined his life.
Yeah, it wasn't the operator; it was the shark. At this point, the
It was
hatred is
something
set
evil.
in.
Yeah, the shark drove him to it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Well, fuck it. We will not linger on this one and then just get distracted by our other favorite Teddy episodes. We will move on to what I know is a more popular Christmas episode for both of us in season 7 with Last Gingerbread House on the Left.
Now, Pat, I am super excited about this, but this is our halfway mark. How do you feel about a smoke break?
Yeah, we will go. That is perfect. We are going to go ahead. We're going to take a quick break. Everybody stretch, hydrate, get any snacks, anything. Everybody stretch and do whatever you want to do, and we will be back in just a little bit, but about 10
Yeah.
minutes. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're back. Woo! So, took a break. Last Gingerbread on the house on the left now is the one we are talking about. Last Gingerbread House on the left.
What? Okay, there we go. All right, cool,
Season
cool, cool.
7, Episode 7, Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers. This one is super interesting because it starts with a story about the events of the town, and there's a new critter at the Wonder Wharf Zoo. And Pat, what is that critter?
Amity the albino polar bear cub.
Oh my fucking god! I missed that its name was Amity until this
It
fucking
sure
moment.
is.
God! Oh, fuck! How did I make it this? This is my favorite episode. How did I not? Okay, that's fine. No worries here. Ha! Damn it. That's good. That's real good. And so after seeing that, we overhear Bob and Linda in the shop talking about how money's tight, how money's always tight, but this time, they would really like to be able to buy the kids some presents.
The kids don't. The kids don't get it. Bob's not sure that the kids understand what being poor means. They've
Yeah,
prepared binders this year for their Christmas lists.
that's
Binders.
right. Yeah.
I think we get one of my favorite Bob Christmas lines, which in this episode, which I think boils down to just like Christmas just keeps coming. We keep doing it, and it just keeps coming.
It's so good. Uh, and then we see Mr. Fishoder come in,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Oh, Mr. Fishoder.
With the Bob, so it's gonna be this in terms of we were talking about like our Christmas themes and everything. This one very much centers around like Bob and feeling like he's not able to provide a good enough Christmas for the kids and everything. And yes, enter Calvin Fishoder, with another with another strange holiday proposition for the Belchers. As he's well, no, he doesn't even give him the proposition at first. He just tells Bob that he needs food delivered. And Bob's like, "Well,
Doesn't he?
we're about to go out caroling," and he's just like, "Well, I'm your landlord, and you don't pay rent, so bring me the food." Which, like, sure,
I mean, is he wrong?
he's not wrong. I forget. I don't think it's this year. I think it's a different. It's oh gosh, I forget. It's a different Christmas episode, I think. But he shows up with a gift for the family, and it's envelopes, just in case that's been the problem with the red checks.
I feel like that's in Maylee Linda.
That might be. I don't know. Oh, I'm not. We'll see if it
I
comes.
mean,
to
that's a
me.
male themed episode, so yeah.
It hasn't happened yet. I know.
Yeah.
We'll see when we get there in the list if it strikes us.
But for this, they, you know, they are able to win. Not they. Calvin is able to win Bob over. Bob is dropped off with some fantastic edibles, but not the fun kind of edibles, for this Christmas party between Calvin and some of his friends.
Do they? I just realized. Do they throw out the burgers? We never see any of them eating any food.
Well, yeah, I imagine that's the one time that all of these rich old assholes are civil to each other.
It's the pregame meal before the competition.
Part of the ritual. It's part of the tradition.
But yes, and it's while this is all going on, Linda and the kids and Teddy are all caroling together. I guess this is Fishhead Island, right? Have we established that's where the fish owners live? It's if not Fishhead Island, some other rich neighborhood in the area.
I think it's a rich neighborhood because we do see Fishoder driving on a golf cart pretty frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he would be. I mean, I could see him putting his golf cart on a yacht, but I don't think he would. Not a yacht, on a
That's
ferry.
yeah,
I don't think he
okay.
would put it on the ferry that often.
I hadn't considered this that there was more than one affluent neighborhood around the Butchers besides because it's almost always King's Head Island is like the go-to rich kid spot.
When they do the essential oil stuff, that is that King's Head or is that off King's Head?
They never say. It's just at what's her name's house or Linda's new friend that I can't remember the name of from that episode. Monica or no, Monica was the friend in high school
Yeah.
that Gail was comparing this new Angie. Her name is Angie. I told it's all in here, taking up space that
I'm impressed.
other relevant information should be taking up. But no, I've got who's that one lady that sold essential oils to Linda and Bob's Burgers that one time?
I'm just happy to be at the feet of a master.
Keep Gal away from the peppermint oil. That's what she goes nuts for. Angie's dog is named Ringo, right? Because wasn't that the name of the dog? It was named after one of the Beatles.
I had no
She has
remember,
a puppy.
no recollection. I've seen this episode like maybe 3 times.
Because
I
it
have
was
no-
because it was Gail shows up with the kids to rescue Linda from the essential oils party, and one by one the kids get picked off with activities that they like. It's like there's a jigsaw puzzle for Tina, and then there's a puppy to keep Louise occupied.
Louise's fondness for animals does always warm my heart.
God, is that a mother? No, that's just a Linda's birthday episode that I'm thinking of now. But the one where Linda goes to the store and then gets her keys locked in the car and her
Yes.
pants split. She gets gum in her hair and then she gets skunked, and it's all about her finding her way home. And you just get all of the things that the kids do with her in her free time. And I love that her and Louise's is going to the shop and just playing with the puppies.
It's so good. Ah, it's a very humanizing moment. Uh,
But yes,
but
sorry.
we have
Last gingerbread
completely
house on
gotten
the
off. No,
left.
I don't think it was you. I think it was me, my dude.
I forget. I don't know how we got to there. This is the case in most of our
It
conversations.
was the location was the location of the fish
Yep.
owner's house, which then brought us to King's Head, which then I brought up the essential oils episode, and then that brought us to the puppy, and then the
Yep.
puppy led to the other puppy, but not the puppy that is in the
Wha-
the unsettling episode.
it's fun how I feel like our conversations are like 6 degrees of separation from the last sentence.
Yeah, we our conversations are pretty trim and healthy. There's a lot of distance between the points, and somehow it gets there every time.
Spread it out.
Oh yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah. So there's this gingerbread house competition, huh? Tell me more about that. Tell me
Wait,
more about
we're
this.
not even into the gingerbread competition yet. No, no, no. Bob has just gotten out of the car, and Mr. Fishoder is like, "Here, put on this tuxedo."
Yeah, put on
Bob,
this
of
tuxedo.
course, not a tuxedo guy. He ain't a tuxedo dude. No way. He doesn't know how to hold himself in a tuxedo. But Mr. Fishoder does manage to negotiate Bob's price, and for 5 months' rent, I believe.
Was it? I thought it was just a month's rent this time around.
No, it's it is a big chunk. It is multiple months, I think.
Because I
Um,
remember them negotiating in that Thanksgiving episode where they also did this deal.
yeah, I feel like that one, what was it, like three?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
essentially, a big enough chunk of change or a big enough amount of time that they could then actually use that money and get the kids like decent gifts this year.
yeah. Um, so whatever it was a significant sum, and so Bob, of course, ultimately reluctantly agrees, and
With the implication that he is going to throw this competition, because
yes,
Calvin
yes,
doesn't even care about winning it. Essentially, he is in this rich person's game of it's a bunch of rich white people playing gingerbread house building where they always don't between them all they get some expensive ass prize for first place, but last place, which is always Mr. Fishoder, just gets shit on and humiliated every year, to the point of having to wear a bedpan throughout the entirety of the competition. And so Calvin just wants Bob there to no longer be the loser. So Bob's house is supposed to collapse at the end of the competition.
and we also get an interesting Calvin and wow, I've already
Felix.
forgotten Felix. Yes, little glimpse behind the camera, y'all. I had to take some Benadryl before we came back because I'm having some weird sinus issues. So we're gonna keep this going as long as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Felix, we get a really interesting point of conversation between Felix and Calvin, which is that Calvin just won't pick Felix because come on, he's Felix.
Well, and
And it's only the oldest sons too, isn't it? It's only the
yeah,
oldest
it's the
sons
only
of
the
each of the
oldest
families.
sons of these like rich families that are in it. I forget the name of all of his fellow competitors, but they are all like very like waspy upper crust names. Like I think one person's
Yeah,
is like something something Bricker Bracken the third or some shit like that. They
nice
seem
to meet you, Bob.
yes they seem like the table is populated with the type of people that hang out with rich Uncle Moneybags from Monopoly,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
his crust of society. And like to get that across, the prize this year that is that they've all chipped in for a play session at the zoo with Amity, the albino polar bear cub. That is the prize of whoever wins the competition. Um, Event it progresses. Um, Mr. Fishoder is getting a lot of shit from his competitors, which he then channels into another stream of just fucking Bob, of just like making fun of Bob and just like really tearing into him, to the point
Some
where,
real low
oh
blows.
yeah,
Like he's being a bit of a douche.
yeah, it's yeah, yeah, to the point that Bob is like, well, fuck this. I'm gonna win this polar bear for myself and my family because the kids will like that gift anyway. Fuck you, rich guy.
This is actually one of I can only think of 2 points in the entire series, but this is one of the times that Bob mentions his mom
Oh yeah,
because him and his mom used to make gingerbread houses, which is why he's not awful. Maybe not the best, but good enough to not come in last.
Yes, it's we kind of skimmed over like all of the other competitors actually like have positive things to say about Bob's technique and all of that he's actually pretty good at this cuz yeah, like you said, it's he and his mom used to do it before she passed is what he says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we really don't get like you were saying, we really don't hear about her much at all.
We get another episode in a Bob and Dad episode.
Yeah, and it's like you were saying, in the Big Bob Christmas episode, we get like
Yeah.
she just gets mentioned, like Big Bob mentions like, I know it was hard without your mother around, that kind of thing. But yeah, we really don't get any other glimpse into that. But we don't really get that with any other missing figures either in other characters' lives. Like we don't know anything about Andy and Ollie and Jimmy Jr.'s mom. I don't think is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, yeah, they still have
Whoever would have been attached to Jimmy Pesto at one point in time.
multiple times.
Yes.
It's just the weirdest thing. Ugh. Um, yeah. Okay. I mean that makes sense. But yeah. So Bob is not dog shit at this,
No.
and in a heated conversation in the kitchen, Bob declares to Calvin that he is going to win, and he is going to get the cuddle session with a polar bear because kids are gonna fucking love it. And then it is all game on. Sabotages begin being thrown left and right. More barbs are being thrown, and tensions are high.
Yeah.
So ultimately,
I mean, it escalates very quickly among the other rich people. They all get very like you could tell that you could tell it probably plays out like this every time because there's not really a sense of like surprise for any of them. But the idea that like they're all freaking out because people are using up all the little candy that they needed for the little intricate details of their house, all of that shit, and eventually they just all draw guns on each other. And like it sounds like that is a dramatic escalation that I did not give appropriate time to stew there, but that is as quick as it happens in the show. Is they're arguing about who ate the last chocolate Santa because one of them needs it for their house, and then they start reaching for guns that they've had concealed.
we did leave out the note though that when Bob was going in, he was like, "Okay, any weapons? You have to leave. Give us the gun table." Like, whoa, you don't have a gun? Weird.
Yeah. So it's they already had a gun table where they had to leave their guns at check-in, like a gun will call or coat room. These are extra guns that they had each of them had hidden on their persons, including the ancient judge who is not even participating, and also Felix. Everybody just comes in, starts shooting all of the gingerbread houses. Bob is the only ones that can even still stand on its own, so he wins by default. Yeah, and I don't know
and
what else happens there.
I mean, Bob is the winner, and Bob sees.
Oh,
So
yeah,
this year there's no loser.
yes, and he gives them an impassioned speech about how it's actually kind of cute that they're their own little family that they've made here, and they have this tradition. And even though it seems like silly rich person bullshit because it is, they also donate to charity each year for it. And so he wants them to like enjoy it and each other or whatever, and invites them all to also participate in the polar bear visit with his family as a gesture of goodwill.
Yeah.
Who throughout this have been caroling in this neighborhood. Linda convinced all the kids to come out with like promises of hot chocolate and cider from all of these people. That like you would just go up to somebody's house and sing, and they would either come hang out with you or give you shit, which I've never seen actually happen in real life. I don't know that that's any I don't know that that's anything that exists outside of TVs and movies. The idea of this conglomeration of caroling people that continues to grow throughout a neighborhood.
Pat, I grew up in the
Did you?
woods, so if that ever happened, I think I might have broken psychologically because The last time that
Sounds like a horror movie.
sudden like groups emerged from the forest singing out of nowhere in the middle of winter, conveniently close to the to Saturnalia and any of those other particularly spiritual times of year, I think I might. Yeah, I probably would have shit myself. I'm going to give like an 85% chance.
Yeah. Yep, I can see that playing out very differently.
And when you set something in the woods, it has a whole different flavor.
So it's did I say what? I don't know why I said what. Moving on. uh, yeah, they're going through this neighborhood.
Teddy is with them too, right?
Teddy is with
Right?
them. Yes,
Okay.
he has replaced Bob, but he was coming along anyway. So
Yeah.
he's I forget what his exact line to the kids was in the car, but like it was just like, I'm not trying to take your father's place, but while he's gone, it's okay if you want to call me Carol Dad, Caroling Dad, or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and they are getting. Nobody wants to join in with them. Nobody's got any cider or cocoa. Eventually, they're all trying to avoid this house. That it's like rumored that the person is like a murderer or a serial killer because it's just like all the windows are covered up and all of that. Which, of course, eventually they then wind up going singing to this house, and it's just a nice man who is trying to be like fun and economic by using his bed sheets as curtains or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And who is a very good caroler and comes to hang out with them. And I don't think there's anything deeper than that. I think that's the whole story there.
Yeah, I mean, we learned that character can at least sing in Latin, and
Yeah.
so that's a very fun thing. But
God, what's the name of the fucking Linda's song that she's obsessed with? That they need. We need your soprano voice so we can.
Can't spell Christmas without us.
Yeah. But I don't have a soprano voice.
That is actually a very good song at the end. That's
Is that a real song, or was it a song for the show?
I mean, I feel like it was a song for the Bob show.
I feel like it had to be, right?
Yeah, because it was lyrically, it was pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This is. I assumed it was fake until you just something about our conversation. I was just like, wait, it's not a real song, right?
I
Okay, it's not. It's just
okay. That's good. Good to know. The world's a little safer.
Yes. And it's for the lyrics, which Zan has expressed his opinion on. It's I can spell Christmas without a you, but that would break my heart in two. You could spell Christmas without a me, but that would be a tragedy. We need S's and U's this time of year because we can't spell Christmas without us. I didn't. I'm cheating. I've got a page open. I did not have that.
Yeah, no.
memorized.
I 100% 100% guessed that, but that's just that was my pain to the lyrics. Ooh, I mean, I am someone who watches bad Christmas movies for the sake of them being bad Christmas movies. But oof.
I know I kind of, when we were zipping through it, and I think it's probably just being in the second half of this now, that we kind of zoom through things a little bit faster.
We generally do. We
I feel
talk
like-
shit about the edibles and then they show up.
I feel like I've not done even though I am talking about this one faster, this is one of my favorites. It's in my
So
top 3 or
good.
4. And I know for you, it's your
It is
favorite.
number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this. This is the exact example of what I was saying when this is, there's not really any personal growth. There's acknowledgement. There is an acceptance that this is what happens. This is just our fucking life. And there is non-event associated family bonding.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bonding with characters that you don't normally see. Like, you very rarely see Calvin and Felix not at each other's throats. And sure, they had guns on each other just a few minutes ago.
Sure.
But no, I love this episode. I absolutely adore this episode. I like watching it any time of year. It's so wonderful. And the guy who has the medical condition that refuses to let him drop his eyebrow is one of the funniest fucking bits. It is so good. I can't stop. It's a medical condition.
Oh, gosh, what were the name of those fucking guys? They all just had such ridiculous names.
Yeah.
here we go. I found it's.
All right, hit us.
We had Samuel Sotherbottom, Samuel Summerbottom, Randolph Bracken Brown, which is the one I was close to before. Hold on. So this was actually the voice actors that did both of those two. This was actually both of their second times in it. Since we're on that subject tonight,
okay? Wait, is the crazy eyebrow guy? Is that Sazerac?
Yes,
Oh,
Umar Zazarak from Presto Tina.
There we go.
Randolph Bracken Brown with his weird eye shit.
All right, cool. All right, I am impressed that I got that.
And then
I was wondering about that earlier while we were talking. And I said, no, I don't think so.
Samuel Summerbottom, the other one, or one of the other ones, I guess voiced Ray in Best Burger. Which is Ray just like the very positive chef? No, Ray is the guy from Fig Jam, the owner of Fig Jam, the store that the kids robbed.
Yeah, the positive chef is Skip Marouche.
Yes, Skip LaRouche. There we go. God, what
was the whole fucking reason for when Bob gets stuck on the toilet?
Yes. Fucking Skip LaRouche. Oh, I don't see the name of the other guy on here, just those two.
I didn't know water wasn't a terrain.
Oh gosh, I do. It's reading back through here now. I do love the kids' predictions for what Bob was going to have to go through at the fish odors, which was Louise's was that he was going to be a human sacrifice, and Tina's I think was that he was going to a sensual grown-up party. So it's I think they said like either way you need like a robe and a Venetian mask or something.
That's fucking wonderful.
What?
All right, but I do love this episode, but I think it's time for us to hop over to the next. Yeah.
To hop over to the next one. Well, I am all about that because we're jumping from your favorite Christmas episode to mine.
Indeed.
Because season 8, and also the first and only 2-part Christmas episode that we got here with the Bleakening in season 8, with episodes 6 and 7 of season 8. Which it's the Bleakening. I love the Bleakening because it's another one that's just, to me, is not so much about a lesson. It's just weird shit that happens to their family, and it's like, I guess this is our fucking lives in this town. So the episode starts with Linda waking Bob out of bed at some ungodly hour because she had a dream, and the Christmas season this year has not been the best. Everybody's been very down in town, and she wants to cheer everybody up. And she's had this fantasy dream of the perfect Christmas party that needs to be thrown in the base at the restaurant. And so we launch into a fucking musical number because it is a full song that she's got for what's needed.
Isn't this set up though by? And this is going to be another one of those times where I'm like, hey, I think didn't this happen first, and I'm 100% wrong, and it's going to happen at the end of the second episode, not the beginning of the first. But didn't this episode start with like a news broadcast of a club shutting down?
That does happen. But
was it not at the beginning?
It's Linda's dream, and then we transition to that because that spurs her on further because the club is shutting down. That she needs to go further. I thought that was
the thing that made her think it wasn't. Oh my god! Literally every fucking time. One of these days, it's gonna fucking happen.
Look, this one being my favorite, I've watched it enough where I'm like, I know the fucking. But we got Linda's song at the beginning. We got we need 5 meat carving station. I love it because it's a back and forth song with her in this full fucking outfit and Bob's replies are the chorus to it as he's still just sleeping in bed because this is just her walking around on their fucking bed instead of sleeping. She needs 5 meat carving stations. Bob says he'll just make burgers. There'll be guests from faraway nations. Bob says he thinks Teddy will come. Mr. Present will greet guests at the door. He sounds nice is what Bob says. He's an anthropomorphic present in this dream that just opens the door, which comes through a tree. I assume people are coming to this party Nightmare Before Christmas style, with Halloween with holiday themed tree doors, I guess. There's a river of eggnog. I forget what else from the song. Everybody will wear skates. Everybody's skating and ice skating. And this all gets Linda decides she needs to throw this exact party from her dreams today. It needs to happen. We then cut to breakfast. Everybody, the family's all eating. We get the news story that you mentioned of the gay club in town. God, what was the name of it? The Wiggle Room.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The city is demolishing the Wiggle Room, which is the gay club in town. So we get that news story of everybody being very sad about that. Linda's like, oh no, this is flaring up her concern from her dream. So she then takes the dramatic action to physically saw the top part of their tree off to act as a little mini tree that she can move all of her best ornaments to take down to the restaurant to ensure that this party is successful. And what I mentioned earlier about her not understanding how trees work is she thinks that she'll then just put the tree back on top and it'll grow back together. But yes, and I just love the family observing her in this, because Louise just has a comment as in the background as we're watching Linda Saw, and it's just like, mother looks well. Everybody understands she's having this breakdown. As we cut, I think we then cut directly to the party. Bob is like walking around with sliders, which everybody is kind of like down in the dumps at this party. Everybody is like snappier at each other than usual, I feel like, without being actively hostile.
Yeah.
Just like generally more negative. So it's you've got Teddy like bitching that he can't just have the entire tray of sliders. You've got Mort complaining that like, oh yeah, the last slider, ice cold, and everybody's touched it. Jimmy Pesto is there being his normal self. We got not Agnes, Edith and Harold are there also being their normal selves. We get Dalton,
I'm sorry, do you mean Dame Judy Brunch?
Dame Judy Brunch, there we go. I think this might be just the second time that we meet him.
Yes.
That he shows up. And then Marshmallow shows up with another new character, Art, the artist friend of hers. Linda makes terrible art puns with him for a bit, and then they all just settle into a routine.
Now, Pat, this is neither here nor there, but this is going to be one of those. We'll circle back to the A plot, but I'm just realizing how bad of a track record the Belcher family has with plants.
With plants,
like there are numerous events. We can even go back to the Christmas in the car earlier. There's that. There is the not Frond Ball. Whatever the new sport. There's the Gene's plot with his
with
Monkey
the fern.
Booby Man.
Monkey Booby
Man. Monkey Booby Man.
Gaga Ball is the name.
Gaga Ball. That's it.
Monkey Booby Man. Fernando, the pet fern.
Oh, that's right. With the fucking leash on it. Damn it, I forgot about the leash. There's that. There is the episode, I had the name of it, where Gene ran through the field of poison ivy.
Stand by Gene is that episode.
Stand by Gene, that's it.
Stand by me.
Right. There's the episode of Bob in the community garden. There are numerous, and how could we forget Grandpa Potato Head and when Linda got the bouquet that was a dog.
Oh yeah.
It's like her dog talk.
What was the name of the dog?
It was was it Taco that got run over by a taco truck?
No, it was like Pop Cap or Soda Cap or something like that. Because they could balance a soda cap on its nose.
Yep, that was it.
And then there was, gosh, we were so far gone, but there was the episode with Louise, and it was like a Louise and regular sized Rudy heavy episode recently, where it's like him at his mom's house for the first time that we see them there, and she's transporting the bridge that she made fun of. But the whole time is Tina's trying to tend his dad's. She's house sitting for the dad's plants.
Oh, that's right.
The bonsai trees.
And there is also I would say like that the love weeds are probably a minor element, and I'm sure we'll talk about with our Valentine's Day specials. Yeah,
that is
that'll happen in like what, April
episode. Nah,
it really is.
No, we can we will plan, and I'm sure that will be very close to its day,
Yeah.
because we're very. We'll get there. We'll get to that point. Don't worry about it. Bleakening. Yeah, we got through most of the party. Um, yeah, everybody's leaving. Linda's like happy with how it went. She's like, it's not as good as the one from my dreams, but I think we did some good type attitude. And then surprise, treetop with all of the fancy ornaments that the kids made is stolen. Um, we get Linda freaking out. She's called the police several times. They've hung up on her. Eventually, Bosco shows up. Makes it very clear he does not care about being there and that they're not going to find anyone. And lets them know that there's been a bunch of, minor Christmas themed burglaries around town, like people stealing decorations, that kind of shit. Um, I forget when throughout this whole process the concept of the Bleakin is introduced from Teddy to the kids. Um, it's like I think he's just like making small talk with the kids at the party about like, oh, have y'all been on your best behavior? Like, you don't think the Bleakin's gonna show up, do you? And then we get the kids asking Teddy to tell them about the Bleakin, and he explains that it's this story that his nana told them about essentially it's essentially Krampus. It's like the anti-Santa that will come and it's attracted by negative energy and fighting, and if he comes, he takes all your presents. Um, so the kids are distraught at the possible existence of this creature, and then become convinced that the Bleakin is the one stealing all of the Christmas stuff around town. That's the other thing that I don't think we talked about in the Nice Capades episode is I love when Bob tries to reassure the kids on Christmas shit that like, no, you'll get a present, and then Louise just lashes out at him. He's just like, you haven't gotten presents in decades. What do you know? Like you have an internship at the North Pole you didn't tell me about. Like, she's like, you just don't understand how Santa works. So
I do love those moments of Louise actually showing her age. It's very
yes.
fun.
But yeah, it's the kids and the Bleakin is kind of like the B plot of this one, and we get Detective Linda, essentially makes a list of everybody that was at the party. They start going around interviewing people. It starts with Jimmy Pesto and Trev because of course it does. Only thing they do.
We need to clarify. Sorry, this is not Detective Linda from when she was psychic. This is a new iteration of Detective Linda, right? This isn't. Mm-hmm. This is not a revival of her.
No, this is while Bob and her are doing this together, had to close the fucking restaurant so that they could do this essentially. And Bob has told the kids they cannot help and that they have to go make new ornaments essentially to replace, as Officer Bosco recommended. Did they steal your kids' hands? It's like, we'll make your mom new ornaments and stop wasting my time.
Which is a very good Bosco line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to take over for a bit for the investigation?
Yes, I can. Yeah. I mean, so for the investigation, so I am not as familiar with this episode as Pat is. This is one of the episodes that I'm the least familiar with. In fact, because it is a two-parter, and I don't remember what is part one and part two. So as Linda is doing this investigation. So we've checked out Trev and Jimmy Pesto. No leads there. So she continues going down, checking out any of the people that she can find, and ultimately winds up at Edith and Harold's. Right? Is she actively looking for art, or does she just find art there?
They wind up getting the idea to look at security cameras when they're at Jimmy Pesto's because Mort has one on their side of the street. They see Edith and Harold taking something out of their store underneath her coat, and so they go to confront them at, is it Impressions? Is that the name of the shop? I can never remember the name of the shop.
Yeah, I think it's Impressions.
They go in there, they can't find him anywhere, and so they bust into the back room and interrupt a nude life drawing session where Art, the artist from the party, is the model. Yes. They confront Edith and Harold. Harold breaks down under questioning and admits that they stole the cookie tray from the party because they didn't have any refreshments for the life drawing class, and no one was supposed to get hurt. I thought you were just going to throw it out. So they move on from them. They go and question Art the artist, whose interrogation I believe is another fucking song. Like
Yeah.
this is a song heavy set of episodes.
Mhm.
We get at least 3 or 4 that I know of.
And Art has a real Andy Warhol vibe, right?
So yes,
Like that is clearly an homage.
I didn't realize it like the first however many times that I watched it. It was until this last holiday season I was rewatching it. I didn't realize Art was fucking Adam Driver.
Oh, I didn't realize that either.
Like I was watching the credits. I'm like, Adam Driver was in this episode. Who the hell was he? It was Art.
Talented individual right
Yes.
there.
And also fits the fucking Law and Order or generic procedural of the week of it's probably whoever the most famous guest star is who did it.
Yep.
So yeah, they question Art. He does his little song as he's modeling nude. Claims it was not him, that he came right to the class. He wouldn't have had anywhere to hide a tree, and nobody saw him with one. So eventually, investigation kind of falls apart until the kids take it upon themselves to go back to Officer Bosco with their Bleakin theory, and they see his crime map, which has a very obvious circle pattern to the crimes. That Louise is able to snap a picture of, and they're just like, well, why don't we look right in the middle of this fucking circle? And so they that night when they should be asleep prior to Christmas, they sneak out to go, as far as they know, break into the Bleakin's lair and drive him out of town to protect their presence and maybe find their mom's ornaments. Maybe secondary objective for sure.
It's the B plot.
Yeah. So that was our first episode of the double feature. The second one we kick right off with the kids wandering around what appears to be like a fucking abandoned industrial district with like fighting
It's a
dogs
lot.
in the
It's
streets.
fucking creepy.
Yeah, it's bad.
And it's just in the snow.
Yeah.
It's still snow. I think, Pat, I think we can kick that little board up one more time, put another
Sure.
notch on there. The kid should have died.
Yeah. I think we'd have to limit it to like episodes where the family should have died because there's some episodes that
Yeah.
should have happened way too many times.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, eventually they find, but it's what keeps driving them forward is they actually find the ornament that Jean made for Linda in the snow. So their theory is so far proving itself. Like the tree is here somewhere.
Is it the
they're-
moose?
Hmm?
Is it the moose?
They find the ornament that Jean made for Linda is like
is that-
left in the snow.
Is that the ornament? Is that the moose ornament?
No, so I don't think
That's a
so.
different Christmas episode.
That's a different Christmas episode,
Yeah.
and it's in the song. That's not a Christmas episode. I think that's the after Christmas episode where they're doing the Christmas card. Is that episode? Because I know
Is
the
that
exact. It's Linda
episode.
singing a song at the
Yeah.
end. It's like
That
people
is the
think,
song that's been
people
stuck
think
in my
you're a
head, so I
reindeer,
guess
but
you
you're
never
not.
would have
You're a
guessed
moose. Is the name? Is the
Yeah.
ornament.
Yeah.
People think
That's
you're a
it, yeah.
reindeer, but you're not.
But
you're
you're not. You're a moose.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there goes one copyright strike on getting Pat.
Gosh, yeah. So they find the ornament. They find a trail of black feathers, leading to nowhere, and they discover that apparently this is like some fucking like Riddler or supervillain hideout because they find that this alley is not really an alley that continues into snow, but is a painted mural to conceal a hidden door, which they go through. Down this creepy ass wooden staircase, which stops at nowhere.
Isn't there like a red light coming from it, like some kind of
Louise
weird
starts-
what sounds like growling or something?
Louise starts pulling out impromptu weapons, to which I think Tina only gets a ruler. At this point, Tina has also intentionally butt dialed home to let the parents know where they're at, but is not good at doing that, and so has given them a street intersection that never actually happens. It's like, those two streets don't actually intersect. So Linda and Bob are hot on the trail, and eventually they all meet in this stairwell as the lights flash and the kids attack them with rulers and shit. Finding the ornament inspires Linda to keep going. They eventually find another hidden passage in that the fucking stairs that they're on are hollow and lift up to reveal more stairs. They go in through these creepy tunnels. They get light flashes. They get some fucking thing that like wanders by with antlers and black fur, and
Very creepy.
Yep, yeah. It is a legit creep. I love that fucking costume. That's one of my favorite parts of the episode is the Bleakin costume that we see. And you know, the family proceeds. Bob keeps telling everybody this is a fucking terrible idea. They're all gonna die. And then it's Bob opens the creepy door into, I guess, EDM dance rave Christmas party.
Yeah.
What has happened is that essentially there's a giant fucking party down here, and you see all of the stolen ornaments or all of the stolen stuff around town. Linda's tree is being used as a decoration. Linda, of course, never taking the subtle approach, storms across to the DJ booth and grabs the microphone and starts yelling at people, while Bob starts climbing up a very precarious stack of speakers to reach the tree. Linda gets interrupted. We get a very, very fantastic Christmas song.
It's so good.
It's so fucking good. The Twinkly Lights Christmas song is amazing. It's one of my favorite Bob's Burgers songs ever. Like it's
art in this, like the effects.
Oh yeah.
The art on the screen, like while the song is going, is just beautiful. There's really some very, very good work done in the art department there.
And I want to say it's Todrick Hall that's singing at that point. I think it's Todrick Hall who is playing. She's drag queen is normally Cleave It to Beaver. For Christmas, she's Miss Triple Xmas, I believe is her name.
That's right. Yes.
And so this song happens. It is amazing. It brings back Linda's Christmas spirit, and she starts seeing in the crowd who she assumed were all of these like young partying kids, and she sees Marshmallow, and she sees Dalton, and she sees Marbles, and just all of these people she knows from the restaurant. And then grabs the mic again and starts apologizing to everybody, but is still like, why did you steal my tree? Also, I need to tell you, like, sorry, I'm a narc and I called the cops when I thought you stole my tree. So then the cops are showing up to shut everything down. And then Adam Driver, as we hinted at, Art appears from the crowd and reveals that he did indeed steal the tree. He was left in charge of decorations for this party. It's normally held at the Wiggle Room, the gay club that we mentioned that was demolished, and he knows how much the party means to everyone and that it needed to be special and important. Essentially all of the same things that went into Linda planning her party earlier. And so that's why he was stealing all the shit from around town, because he also didn't have a budget to do this. And then, yes, the police are coming, and Bob saves the day by taking the Bleakin costume that has now been identified as just a costume that some dude at this rave is wearing that's got feathers in this sick skull and antlers and shit. And runs out the door by the cop cars, says, I'm the Bleakin, I'm the holiday thief, and leads the cops away so that everybody else can stay and party all night.
How does Bob not die?
How does he not?
How is Bob not arrested? How?
Do you know?
No, I just know that. No, I know. I don't remember the end. No.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, why didn't? Yeah.
So it's Bosco and Nameless partner follow.
Of course, it's Bosco. Yeah.
Yeah. And Bob happens to run right by Teddy's house. Who Teddy, after hearing about all of the thefts of the giant inflatable Christmas things, has an inflatable Santa himself. And we've been getting clips of him throughout the episode having sealed himself inside his inflatable Santa as a stakeout in case somebody tried to come and steal him. So he's just standing inside an inflatable plastic Santa out in the cold all night.
Doesn't he get sick at one point?
He starts.
Or does
he gets nauseous at one point because one of his neighbors comes over with their dog who takes a shit on his lawn and does not clean it up, and he's stuck standing right next to it.
Yep.
Bob runs by. Teddy thinks it's the Bleakin, tackles him. They explain what's going on, and then Teddy hides him from the police inside of the plastic Santa with him as Bob continues to question why could I not just go into your house that's right behind us? And Teddy just keeps shushing him. So, but yeah, I mean that's the bulk of it. I don't know. I just very much enjoyed these two episodes. It was like we've kind of talked about. I like it when they do like weird or original stories to kind of dig into, as opposed to like like the traditional Christmas or whatever holiday that they're getting into. And even though like Krampus is like a known thing, that was a cool way of doing it. I feel like with the Bleakin and with Linda getting involved in this mystery, and then the actual turn of what was really going on at the end was a nice little twist that kind of tied it all together. I thought it all worked very well, and there wasn't to me there's not a downside to it. But I also know not everyone feels as strongly about these two episodes as I do. So please chime in. I know I'm the only one that gets as hyped for the Bleakin as it.
It's no. I mean, it is a solid episode for my ranking. It was dead in the center. It was right with Nice Escapades, just 5-6, and I mean it is difficult. I don't know if anyone has noticed, but I have a bit of a short attention span, and so paying attention for 2 episodes is a little bit tricky sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So that is just kind of a personal thing against it, and I don't know. I think because it is such a complex story, it feels very slow to me.
I can see that, yeah.
Compared to the quicker pace of the other episodes.
I can see that because it to me, like if I had one complaint about it, it feels like not quite enough for 2 episodes, but too much for 1 episode.
Yeah, it's that like 1.8.
Yeah, I can see that. I think maybe one of the obviously I'm a big fan of the songs that they do, so I think I like that this had so many catchy songs. Is this the episode that your catchy song is from? Or...
No, I was completely incorrect. My catchy song was "People Think You're a Reindeer, but You're Not."
Oh, that was that.
I thought that was that was what I was assuming it was. But then, ever since we passed that one of the prior episodes, I've had on bourbon, on whiskey. Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of stuck in there.
From the Nice Escapades.
From the Nice Escapades, indeed. Oh, good old Calvin's love song.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's a good episode. It's just not remarkable for me.
That's fair. Gosh, what else? I do like that we got a little bit more of Dalton. I like it when we get some Dalton appearances.
Oh yeah, he's quality.
Oh, especially at the actual Christmas rave, which is, oh no, I've got to go to this other thing, but I don't have a +1, so I don't think I could show up with just like 500 people. Just like announcing this to the room like anybody gives a shit.
I mean, earlier he was like, "Oh no, I mean, I wasn't gonna stay here all night. I was just about to leave." But
the guy that has to just be constantly narrating that they've always got something else to be at.
I mean, Dame Judy Brunch is a pretty happening blog.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what he says that like he does the same thing in that episode where it's like he gets the private brunch then like because Bob wants to cook him a nice brunch. He's just of all of the private brunches I'm going to today. This is yeah. All right. So that is I have gushed about the Bleakening for plenty long. So we could jump to season 9. Oh, you know what? It's totally random, but just because we were talking about it earlier, this is season 9 is where the fucking the essential oil episode takes place. It's in season 9.
Oh goodness!
God, what was the Christmas episode this time?
Was the
Better Off Sled? There we go.
Oh, okay. So interesting thing. I did not realize that Better Off Sled was an episode until like a month ago. And so it is fresh on my brain, and I absolutely love it. It is I think pretty easily my number 2 pick as far as winter holiday movies go or winter holiday specials go. It is a Logan episode that is not as stressful as the Bob's Green Thumb whatever episode. Mm-hmm. And I do like seeing Louise have a rival to go against. I think that brings out a very fun side in her character. And I mean, there's just so many so many fun little interesting quirks throughout it. So I guess the summary, I suppose, which is probably where I should have started, uh, is that it is a big snow. It's enough snow to get school canceled, and so the town is unfortunately very flat. There's like one hill that you can like sled on, and they are all the kids are so hyped for sledding, and so they go down there ready to have a good time. They've got Rudy, they've got Daryl,
Daryl.
they have Jocelyn and
Nah, just Rudy, Daryl, and then extras that are not named.
okay. Andy and Ollie were there too, right?
I don't think so.
No Andy and Ollie?
No.
Oh shit.
I don't think they wanted to pay those actors this time around. I think they tried to limit the kids this episode.
That would explain when the episode does feel a little light. I don't know why it does, but that could explain it. But yeah, they are getting ready to go and have a good time, and they realize that Logan and his friends are having a snowball fight. And so you can't really go sledding somewhere there's a snowball fight because you're gonna get your ass beat with snowballs.
Exactly. The whole episode is a turf battle over that one hill, between the Logan and the high school boys who are just throwing snowballs at each other, and the younger kids who all just want to sled.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what the B plot of this episode is, though.
The B plot is Linda finding her old knitting supplies that she bought when she was pregnant.
Oh, that's right.
And deciding that 2 days before Christmas she was going to learn how to knit and knit 3 scarves for the kids as their gifts.
And Bob is just the world's best knitter.
Yes, Linda is not good at it. Bob is very good at it. That's pretty much the whole thing. We get some funny dreams from Linda, where there's like oh god, I forget what she named him. It was like a giant nutcracker that's like been knitted together. It was probably like just Knitcracker or something like that.
Probably, yeah.
Who was just fun in the first dream, and then the second dream after she's been failing is just he goes murder Nutcracker, and she's just being strangled in the dream with the scarf that she can't knit.
I can't really think of another episode like off the top of my head where Linda is as vulnerable as she is in this episode.
That's fair. I think she is usually just good at things, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see her struggle with tasks very often.
Like this and the high school reunion are really the only ones that come to mind where like
I love that episode.
Oh, it's so good. Bad Hair Day. What a great band.
Bad Hair Day. Bad Hair Day. Bad Hair Day.
Also, Peter Pescadero might be one of my favorite songs in the whole series. It's so good. No, not Peter Pescadero.
Derek Dematopoulos.
Derek Dematopoulos, the dermatologist. Yes. Yeah, it's so good.
Derek Dematopoulos. It's such a good
mustache
song.
Makes me weak.
Your neck hair makes me weak.
That's it.
Won't you enter my Acropolis and make my yogurt Greek? Is Gail's love song that she's had on the books for just decades for this guy.
So good. It's really fucking fun. You can really tell that she put a lot of work and love into it.
Yes. Yeah, so this was, oh my gosh, just the first time that she's gotten to do any of her songs since Linda would never let her before because they were never appropriate.
I think that has stayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They still seem a little imperfect.
Classic Gail.
Yep. Classic Gail. Don't remember how we got off on
it. We branched off from the B plot of Linda doing the scarves.
That's right.
That we don't get a lot of instances where Linda's just not naturally good at things.
That's right.
Because we've got like the other time where like I forget if it's like the wet like spitball type throwing contest at the restaurant between her and Bob and everybody. Yeah, Narts. Yeah, and what was it? She was like the 5th grade something champion.
Hoop shoot. 5th grade hoop shoot champion. Everybody knew about that. Mike the Mailman knew about that.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's more of the Linda that we see, who's just good at shit, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, kids and sledding and snowballs.
Yeah, I mean the kids don't have a good time. They have a pretty bad day. They can't really get there. They can't sled. It's a bad time. So they try to fight back. They try to fight back a little bit, don't they? And then they're just so solidly repelled.
I think Daryl tries to throw a snowball and it winds up going backwards.
Yes.
And then
And then
they don't try and fight. They just try and sled through, and they all get pelted and run away.
that's right. Yeah.
um, yeah, I forget how they get to their actual first solution. Like, I forget how they get to calling Rudy's cousin.
So what they do is they get Teddy first to go right. Oh
No,
God.
not yet. So they do that. So they get Rudy's cousin first, and then
Yeah.
that gets broken up before she comes back at the end. And Teddy is that middle ground because it's
I
when Teddy plows the ice, then Logan has like icy snowballs afterwards.
yeah.
And that part of that confrontation is when it's just Louise up there, and she's got like the cookie tray and like the oven mitts and shit. She's like decked out in armor.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. I guess is it.
I can't remember how they got. At some point, Rudy goes to get his cousin, who is the softball pitcher. I just can't remember how they got to that. Like if they were just like, "Oh, I wish there was somebody who could throw stuff at Logan or something." And then
I
Rudy
think
just
maybe it
offered
was just
up.
after. I think maybe it was after they got Rudy got his ass beat
Yeah,
the first time, and he was telling his cousin about it. Maybe his cousin was like, "Oh yeah, fuck that guy." Because then that's when it's revealed that he called her a manatary napkin.
yes. Yeah, it's Rudy winds up getting his cousin, who is in Logan's grade or whatever, and essentially this episode winds up boiling down to everybody hate. And Logan's just a douchebag, and everybody wants to get at him. Um, but yeah, so they have the softball pitcher that clears them out for a while. Until then, Logan's crew escalates and gets like the outside 3-point shooter from the boys basketball team, because the kids were essentially like a front phalanx for her when she was firing. They had shields in the
So
front.
good. Who taught them like ancient
She's
battle
going,
tactics?
and it's
What the fuck?
advance.
So good.
So yeah, so they get the 3-point shooter who can go over their shields and just get everybody from above with the arc. Then yeah, they go to Teddy. Louise convinces Teddy to like plow the snow so that nobody, because it's if she can't sled, then nobody can have the hill, is what she feels like at that point.
Yeah.
So they encourage Teddy to plow the hill this night because Teddy has been working a plow. He's not good at it, is what we establish. And they do this by feeding off of Teddy recounts one of his childhood bullies. I think his name is Ricky. His snow bully Ricky,
Definitely Ricky.
who was an Eagle Scout. Too. Did all this charity work and just made Teddy's life a living hell.
Look, I've known some Eagle Scouts, and they were kind of douches. They were kind of jerks.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
just the flashback sound in Teddy's head. We got the audio of it of like, okay, Ricky, stop, Ricky, just Ricky, stop, Ricky. Teddy's just like traumatized audio as he's sitting in his car trying to decide whether to plow the snow or not. Which he does, and then he feels super guilty about it. But then all of his crimes are erased because they get more snow that night.
Yep.
So
There's that phone call between him and Luis is very fun.
yes,
He does call to be like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
well, the before and the after call.
Yeah.
So did you do it or did you not do it? Let's just say that the hill looks different than it did 20 minutes ago.
Which also seems to be acknowledging how bad he is at
Yes.
moving snow.
Bob just talking shit about him when they see his car on there. You're fishtailing an awful lot. Well, yeah. Do you even know how to? Do you even know how to do a plow, Bobby? And just drive the car at the snow. And he's like, yeah, that's it. But yeah, so it's Louise goes back to the hill, finds all of the new snow, finds that the snow that was plowed by Teddy has formed like this very hard ice snowball that is going to hurt a lot more when you get hit by it, and decides she is going to confront Logan on her own. And then like heroic last stand, or gets interrupted as literally pretty much every girl athlete from the high school shows up to just attack Logan.
Yeah.
We find out that Rudy and regular sized Rudy was driving by with his dad, who was going to buy a pair of earrings for his girlfriend, even though they don't know where they're at in their relationship yet, and saw that Louise was going to die, called his cousin, who was at the gym, and so she got the whole softball team, and the whole girls lacrosse team, and the whole girls basketball team, which was just everybody that wanted to throw snowballs at Logan, and they all just showed up and wrecked his day.
Bad time.
Mm-hmm. We get the brief moment where he grabs Louise as a human shield.
The worst human shield he could
The worst human shield you could grab. And she, in like a moment of sympathy, I guess, shoves him down and like sleds with him so that he has a very, very brief head start.
I could also see this as kind of a cat toying with a mouse. Just like, oh, we're going to let you get a little bit of room. You're still going to have a bad day, but I want you to taste freedom first. So this could be some malicious intent from Louise. It doesn't seem that way, given how like not booyah her attitude was when she was telling him to run.
But yeah, I mean, we get that. We get, in wrapping up the B plot, we find out that the kids actually like Linda's weird scarf better than the normal ones that Bob made.
Because those were just bought at a store.
Yeah. We find out that they blame a lot of shitty gifts on the grandparents. Yeah,
I mean, they did. Didn't they give them a book? Or no, this would have been in the airport episode, I think, where they got a book about staying active in retirement, including a
I remember that
special chapter. Yeah, I think that had to have been the airport episode.
Yeah, they're not the best. Linda's parents are also not the best. Because we've got a whole. It might be the very next Christmas episode that we're talking about, where they are a significant chunk of it. If it is season 10. Have we talked enough about Better Off Sled before
I feel like where did it land for you? Because I think this is like, I don't really think this is a Christmas episode, but I really like it. It's in that slot.
It kind of like rounds out my top 5. It's like 4 or 5 for me.
Okay.
So like just dividing it in half, since there's 10 of them. Like my top half is, I think we've actually gotten my whole top half, because it was Bleakening, Better Off Sled, the Mannequins, the Gingerbread House, and God, whatever season 4 was, Christmas in the Car.
Right.
So we've hit my top ones. All of the other ones are ones that I still enjoy, but are not my faves.
Yeah, I am. We have well and proper gotten all of mine, all my top.
Which our next one, not to undersell these ones, but we got 3 left. We got season 10, episode 10. Have Yourself a Mally Linda Christmas, where basic premise: Linda has been working part-time at the post office to make some extra holiday cash. She is being her normal, a lot. She's being a lot. She's being Linda. Seems to be grating on the nerves of her coworkers. And essentially, last minute, right before Christmas, some dude comes in a little bit late with a package. Guy at the front desk says, like, okay, fine, it's a gift for your nephew. We'll make sure that it gets through, even though you, like, missed the time by a little bit. And then I think it just gets, like, accidentally trapped between 2 bins and just doesn't get sent along. And it's, essentially, it's just not going to arrive until, like, a few days after Christmas, probably. Which is unacceptable to now not quite postal worker Linda, who makes it her crusade to get this package to the nephew on time, which for the most part involves taking the package herself and leaving with it.
Which might be a felony.
Maybe. All the while, there is essentially like a ticking clock in the background with Bob, who is trying to cook and get everything ready for Christmas, and also needs Linda back from work to be the buffer between him and her family, who is all going to be there this episode.
Right.
Both her parents and Gail are all going to be there.
What is the one thing? It was the Ottoman.
The Ottoman.
Couldn't talk
the
about
Ottoman.
the Ottoman.
Yep, the Ottoman incident is what is apparently a hot topic between the Linda's family and needs to be avoided. Linda says to squash any Ottoman talk.
It's very good. So Linda decides that she has to go drop this package off, and is warned, like she asks, how do we do this, and she is told we don't.
Yeah.
She's threatened with being fired. It is, it even kind of bait and switches you a little bit, where it looks like Linda's going to drop it off, and then just kind of goes out the door with it, and grabs some of the kids. I don't think it's all of them.
Yeah, it's like, so it's she has the package with her initially, goes home and is like, "Oh no, I've got time to deal with this." Grabs all of the kids except for Tina. Tina can't come because Louise and Jean are going to get Tina a gift.
Right.
There's a kid.
Because Tina always gets good gifts.
Well, so this is their first year of doing like just a kids only one. And they put a budget on it, and so both Louise and Jean were gonna get Tina a beret. They were just gonna each take one of the berets she already owns and then give it to her, and then discover that she got them very heartfelt gifts. Like she got Louise the specific like Nirobu toy that she wanted from like one of those machines where you have to like put in a quarter and eventually the one you want will come out. And I think she got Jean, for whatever reason, the very specific brand of sprinkles that he likes on his froyo or something like that. So yes,
Like, wasn't it like a 5 pound bag or something?
Something like
huge amount.
It was something very specific. So they both panicked and went with Linda to find a Tina appropriate gift to cover for their asses, and left Tina to essentially survive with Bob, with Gail and the parents. So yeah, we got Linda and the kids going in and out of like one post office and being told like, nah, just leave it here, we'll deal with it. And then she's like, no, this address isn't that far, I'm gonna go deal with it. And then her bosses that we've only met this episode and Mike the mailman all get involved and are trying to stop her. And it's kind of just a whole thing. I feel bad, but it's there's not any more depth to it than how we're presenting it. I feel like.
Yeah,
it's just a series of people telling her not to do the thing, and she keeps doing the thing until the thing is done.
Yeah, I mean, the whole episode just kind of feels like it's even based on a silly little premise. Because if Linda can drive to drop off the package, and, presumably that guy showed up with the package from driving, why couldn't he just drive it himself?
Why didn't he just
taking like the 2 days it would take for the post office?
Who knows? Maybe he was getting on a plane. It was not. It was specifically not close because I think Linda mentioned it was like a town over or something. But yes, no, that it does beg the question of why the package couldn't have just been delivered by hand by whoever had it, by the uncle at the beginning. But yeah, it was just not the. There wasn't that much meat to it. I feel like. Like it was kind of shallow. It was good at what it did, but there wasn't that much to it.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the Bob and Tina and Gail and the parent stuff better than the male stuff.
Yeah.
Because the actual Ottoman story was decently funny, where it was Gail wants to jump out and surprise a cousin from the Ottoman, so she goes inside and then just gets stuck in there and everyone forgets about her. And just all the lies that she tells her parents, just like that she expects the family to go in on. It's just like, my mansion with my rich lover is given me. It's like, we're getting all our bathrooms redone, which is why we're here. And then the way that Bob saw things is, I went into the other room, I pretended I was the bank and called Gail and told her that she needed to get more money because she had too much money here or something. And then everyone was happy again.
Gail has such an intricate web of...
That's an intricate web of whatever she does.
Yeah, of neurons, we'll say.
Yeah.
Interesting web of neurons. Yeah, no, I feel like it was a good episode. It's not like it's solidly in my bottom group.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I guess the things that I liked about it, we got Gail, we got some Gail, which is usually nice. There are
not a cringe Gail episode
exactly.
either.
That's what. Yep. Mailman Mike's always decent when he's in it. Tim Meadows is always good in that role. I don't know if there was any. Was there any Teddy stuff? Or any Mort or Teddy in this?
Did
we get much in the restaurant at all? No, because it was always the restaurant was closed. Bob was up cooking. So
Yeah, that's it.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
That was season 10. Not much to talk about.
So that brings us down to
Final two.
uh,
Got our
final
final
two,
two.
Yachty or Nice.
Yachty or Nice, yes. This of the of the remaining ones, Yachty or Nice was my highest rated one. When we got to the point where I was just like, okay, well that's everything for my top half. Yachty or Nice was at the top of my bottom half.
Okay,
It,
I
it
think
was it was creeping on getting up into there.
man, it is. I think it's like my eight. It's pretty low on there for me.
So it's this one. If we kind of circle back to Nice Capades, is where we were talking about that same lesson of like maybe don't lie to get gifts. But I kind of liked the way it was done better in this episode than the Nice Capades episode. Like incorporating Teddy as Santa and kind of having all the kids learn it together type thing. I thought it I liked it a little bit better in this episode.
I think the gag of Uncle Father Santa Teddy.
Uncle Father Santa Teddy, yeah.
I think that is very good. I I find the idea of them getting faulty toys very fun, and I'm sure we'll get into this as we like give a timeline of what the episode actually is. But I think the thing that puts Nice Capades above this for me is the music. I think the music in Nice Capades is like I don't even clearly remember a song from this one.
No, I don't think this one had a song. But no, I feel you. Like the little jingles that each of the kids had for Nice Capades was
Yeah.
I feel you there.
Well, what happens in this episode, Pat?
Yeah, so this one, we start out with they're loading up the car to head over to the Glencrest Yacht Club, where they have been selected. Oh, sorry, where they've been selected as one of the food vendors for the holiday boat parade.
For apparently no reason. Right?
It's for they don't know how they were selected or why. Bob is very self-conscious about the fact that the other restaurants all seem nicer and more prestigious and more likely to be selected by a yacht club than they do. Than a burger slop shop.
Exactly, a burger slop shop.
Yeah, so they go there. Linda's very excited about the potential of meeting the mayor. The kids are not excited about having to help Bob out with I forget what his dreaming of a white brie Christmas burger sliders or something like that.
Yeah,
it was so like
sliders.
Yeah, yeah, it was a recipe that required a bit of extra prep work because he was going overboard on things. They run into Teddy there, who is playing Santa for the yacht club. In the yacht parade, explains that he's going to be handing out all these kits. Like you were saying, the Santa there gives out a bunch of donated toys and stuff like that, which includes a bunch of unsafe toys from like a remote control company. Like the things that are, it's like these things are slightly unsafe and we can't sell it. Let's give it away to kids at the yacht club.
Like a RC car that goes so fast it could break your toe.
Yes, yeah. It's except that those are limited, and eventually you get down to just like some attorney that donates like erasers or something like that. So kids have already started lining up at the yacht club to get in line. The Belcher children are distraught that they have to help with prep and cannot get in line and get any of the good presents. And then the B story is going to be kind of their job of trying to swindle their way into bigger presents. While we stay with Bob and Linda at the stall, and Bob trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, winds up seeing not Jimmy Jr., Jimmy Pesto and Trev are here. I guess Jimmy Pesto bought a yacht, and Trev mentioned he like spent his mortgage on it or something. So yeah, Jimmy is there trying to just impress people still. Apparently has not made any more progress since like season 2 or 3, where we had the Burger Boss episode. Where Bob got high on painkillers at this same yacht club. This is for prior times where we've visited the Glencrest Yacht Club. We've got the Burger Boss incident that we talked about there. We've got the blob that Gene tried to save, the plankton blob there. I think those are the only episodes that's shown up. I don't think that they've really used it besides that.
wasn't there an episode where they said they were taking like sailing lessons or something?
That was Burger Boss. Yeah, it's
That was
they.
Burger
So
Balls.
it's
Okay.
they were supposedly taking sailing lessons, which was the lie that they told Linda so that Bob could use the kids to get into family fun time and
That's
keep
right.
playing the
Okay.
Burger Boss game to try and get rid of Jimmy Jr. or Jimmy Pesto's Bob sucks score that he put up there. And eventually, when Bob gets high on painkillers and Daryl directs him at his bullies, the bully runs back to the yacht club because that's where his parents are, and so that's how they get there.
Mm,
And Jimmy Jr. is there and winds up getting kicked out too. Or not Jim. I keep saying Jimmy Jr. Jimmy Pesto.
yeah. And then Bob starts to lose it. And yeah, I mean, like, oh, go right ahead, sir.
Hmm?
It looks like you're about to say something.
Nope.
So yeah, so Bob starts to slowly become unhinged. Not slowly, rapidly. That's the phrase. Yeah, he's just, going belly up real fast. He is convinced that it is all an elaborate prank. That someone informs him that Jimmy Pesto invited him, and
Yes.
he came highly recommended from Jimmy Pesto actually, and he becomes convinced that it's just going to be a gag so that he can do something to embarrass him, something to ruin his day, and he decides that it is going to be to pants him. And so Bob begins to obsess over this and begins to freak out. And I think this is part of where this episode, like, I kind of lose my interest in this episode. It feels slightly tropier on mental illness than I would personally really love. And so, like, that kind of
The level
adds
to
like one point of apathy to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. The level to which Bob's paranoia goes here, I could see that for sure.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's still a totally reasonable thing. But yeah, he begins to wonder how Jimmy Pesto is going to pants him. What is he doing? What is Jimmy Pesto planning?
Yeah.
Yo, Michael Wayne.
Yeah, it's the whole episode is like, what is Jimmy up to? Like, essentially seeing no legitimate reason Jimmy would have recommended him for this job, and only viewing that as like, okay, how is he going to hurt me here? As you mentioned, like, unhinged, like, starts spiraling. He starts attaching all this intricate system of bungee cords to himself so that he can be unpantsable.
Bungee cord suspenders.
Yes. And eventually, during like the big presentation at the end, where the head of the yacht club is trying to like give attention to all of the caterers, all the little booths that were set up, and welcomes them all on stage, Bob, of course, becomes convinced this is when he is going to get pantsed and winds up getting into a physical fight with Jimmy Pesto so that they both get essentially wrestled into the harbor and need to be taken inside and given warm clothes by the yacht club.
Yeah, I forget, did we mention the special guest that is in attendance?
The mayor.
The mayor.
The mayor. Yes. We
Mayor is here.
Linda continues her obsession with the mayor. I know we touched on that a bit last episode with the turkey pardoning episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the episode where we actually see some reciprocation on the mayor's part. Because at the end we find out that the mayor thought the burger was delicious and sent his aide over to say so.
Didn't he drop it on the ground?
Yes.
Still ate it?
The mayor observed the 5-second rule and thought it was delicious.
Fuck yeah.
Then Linda says, I'm gonna leave some fries on the ground and we'll see if he comes back for them. Yes, because Linda's convinced that she and the mayor are gonna meet, and she's gonna, I forget if she said start like a morning show or a podcast or something with him. She has a very intricate plan for the two of their relationship going forward. She knows exactly how they will connect and work as a team.
They're not going to be like a power political couple.
No.
I see.
And then meanwhile, the kids, in trying to figure out a way to swindle their way ahead of the line, have been trying to figure out how to utilize their relationship with Teddy to get better gifts. I think they ask him straight up, and he's just like, I can't do that. Wouldn't be right to do. And eventually they run into Gus. That is one of the positives on this episode. We got a Gus appearance, which is always
Guess
fun.
is always a win.
Gus is always a solid choice. Who on his ding, who he I think he's just been there hanging out, like getting IPAs and burgers is what he tells the kids, and then he takes them out on his dinghy to go to the Santa schooner, and I think he's fully in on the stealing gifts plan.
He is an old man who is very bored. Oh yeah, he's 100% in on that.
Because they take the gifts, and then when the kids are the kids eventually reach the decision that like they should return these for all of the kids that are waiting in line, and then Gus is just like, well, you could give them to your old friend Gus, see what he could get on eBay for them. But yes, they give the gifts back. Teddy asks them to go get something from the Santa scooter for him, and they see that Teddy had correctly predicted that they would do the right thing and had set aside one special gift for them to share, like a car that was so dangerous that he couldn't even give it out. um, yeah, so the kids learned a lesson and got a gift anyway. Bob and Jimmy Pesto are essentially getting thrown out. Or Jimmy Pesto's getting thrown out. The head of the yacht club is just like, well, it wasn't a total loss. Everyone was raving about your burgers. Bob, during their discussion, had found out that Jimmy did not have anything. What Jimmy had planned with Trev was for Trev to hype up how Jimmy had been the one to bring Bob, and so to get all of the praise for that, because Jimmy confesses to Bob that he thought everybody would enjoy his burgers because his food is good. Yes. Which is something that, of course, never crossed Bob's mind in the paranoia descent, is that, like, his food was actually good enough to be there. So then Bob winds up trying to do something nice for Jimmy at the end by trying to help him get into the club and saying, like, oh no, he taught me everything I know about cooking, and then leaves and feels dirty about it.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of it.
Yeah, what were your thoughts? I know we kind of mentioned it briefly while we were talking.
I think it's like a middle of the ground one for me. I've got it below Christmas in the Car and Better Off Sled, but above Father of the Bob and Nice Capades.
Yeah, I mean
it's.
I think it's a little bit lower for me, like not much lower, but like in the middle of the bottom half.
I just remembered something. One of the things I didn't get to hype up about. We're several episodes past it. The sledding one. The ending song for the sledding episode is fantastic, and we did not hype that up enough.
Oh, I don't even remember which one it was.
It's just some little jingle about sledding. It's like sledding and snowballs and snowballs. And
oh
sledding
yes,
and sledding and snowballs, and then there's like a few lines about like Santa, cover your delicate eyes.
Yeah, it's got the same vibe as the and the pee pee and the poo poo and the poo poo.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, that's all I had in Yachty or Nice. It had some of like the guest characters that I like. It didn't do anything poorly other than a little bit of like we were saying, Bob's paranoia felt a bit forced, like the extent of it.
Yeah, definitely.
But otherwise, it was good. Again, I don't think we're gonna find any episodes we actively disliked for the most part. It's just like, and that enthusiastic brings us to our final episode, our final Christmas season special, season 12, episode 10, Gene's Christmas Break, which just came out a little bit ago, December 19th. Just
still very recent.
What you start this one?
Yeah. So 100%. So the way this starts, we are introduced with Gene presenting himself as the family's DJ, which seems to pretty well line up with Linda's idea of when the tree should start being like a part of their life. Well, Gene, at that same time, Gene turns into the family's DJ. And so he's got track after track after like he's got CDs, he's got actual records, he has the whole deal. and is a meh DJ, but keeps playing the same songs, driving everyone insane. Um, so it's revealed that his favorite is Dr. Tinsel's Christmas workshop.
God, Dr. Tinseltown's Christmas something or other.
Yes. It's a lot.
It is a weird album from the 70s that is just like, God, what were the sections in the record store Gene was searching under? Like folk seasonal. It's just a weird mix.
Yeah, it has a real vibe from, oh, what is that? Napoleon the 14th. That is the song that that person reminds me of Dr. Tinseltown, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
His song style as they get into it later, like reading the lyrics and stuff, really reminds me of that.
Of what? Sorry, I missed
Of the "They're Coming to Take Me Away" song by Napoleon the 14th.
Got it. Yeah, I think he's got this Dr. Tinsel, whatever the hell. He's got very like, his vibes are like steampunk, Beatles, Yellow Submarine, Christmas, like giant top hat and
Like
candy cane.
almost seems Dr. Seuss esque.
Yes, for sure. I could. Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Like some weird Dr. Seuss monstrosity. But yes, Gene is obsessed with not just any Christmas music, but this album in particular gets very overplayed, and we see everybody besides Linda in the family like a day or two into this routine and already completely over it. Such a Gene blasting Christmas or holiday music nonstop from literally sunrise to sunset.
And sometimes after sunset.
Sometimes after, yes. At one point, he pitches "Why Not Music All Night Long," which is roundly dismissed by the family.
Yeah. We do get a wonderful little flashback bit in there as well when it's revealed how he got that album, or is that later that it's revealed how he got the album? Is it later or is it now?
I think it was around now because it's essentially the family's like sitting around having breakfast. Linda goes into the other room and is essentially just encouraging Gene because she loves it. And then Tina and Louise, I think, essentially make a comment that like this is all Bob's fault for getting him the album.
Right. Yeah, and Bob got it from his aunt like 30 years ago, who smoked a lot of pot. Only thing he's ever said about this family member is he smoked a lot of pot.
God, I forget what Gene says when he's looking at it, but it's just like a slightly younger Gene staring at the album and like, it makes me feel weird. I like or something.
It makes me feel uncomfortable in a way I like.
Yes, because it's like there's some song it like I forget all of the imagery on there, but there's like a lot of like kittens and teacups and shit. It's all very strange imagery.
Very weird.
Yeah, this is a weird episode to both watch and talk about. I feel like.
Yeah, because the whole episode is really trippy.
Yeah.
It's another Courtney and Greg, Courtney's dad.
Oh. Courtney and I forget what his name is.
Yeah, but Courtney and her dad have a fairly sizable role in this, if nothing else, for like information purposes, and they even act as a distraction. We get, I guess, the
Doug. His name is Doug. Sorry.
Doug. That's it.
Courtney and Doug.
I guess I would have a hard time picking the A plot from the B plot. The B plot is probably the family trying to, after it is revealed how much Gene loves this record, we see him going to bed with it. He rolls over when he wakes up in the morning.
He specifically needs to finish saying goodnight to every song. So it's which Linda closes the door and it's just like, "You're a great song, kiss. You're a great song, kiss." And then we flash cut to the morning.
Yeah, where he rolls over and he breaks it. Tries to fix it with masking tape or just like the clear tape, and it just doesn't work. So goes to the record store that we mentioned earlier when he was looking for the weird genres. No luck. Nobody knows anything about it. Um,
They give him the
well,
number of a very like deep local collector who winds
yeah,
up being Doug.
of course it's Doug. Yeah, who is currently struggling with Christmas lights
Hmm.
with Courtney, and the time honored question of how many reindeer
It's
is
too many
enough
reindeer.
reindeer.
How many is too many?
There's no such number. I disagree with that neighborhood.
Apparently, their assessment was that last year they didn't have enough lights and they had too many reindeer.
Ratio is off.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, so Gene, no, would you like to take it from here?
Sure. Yeah. I'll go for a bit. Doug uses his connections and calls somebody up in, I think he said in the UK, and they
Yeah.
discover that so this fucking band only sent albums out to their fan club, which was not very big, and and then the company that made them had a fire at their site, and nobody was hurt, but any other copies of it would have burnt down in that fire. So they're not finding any more copies of this.
Gene may have held the last one on this wonderful blue marble.
Was
I believe
Doug's
is the yeah.
was Doug's expression. Um, and yeah, so Gene is essentially just broken. Um, the family doesn't know what to do about him. And at some point, Luis comes up with the idea of that the other four Belchers are going to re-record this album on tape for Gene and essentially just sing him all of his favorite songs.
Mhm.
So they have, like you said, they have Courtney and Doug distract him, get him to come over and help with lights and shit while they're trying to record this, which goes as well as you'd expect. It's there's it,
Yeah.
it's a nice thought and there is effort behind it, but it doesn't sound the best.
It's
And
not
yeah,
good.
so Gene listens to it and then can't keep listening to it because it reminds him of kind of what he broke, and then he feels bad for not appreciating it more. And eventually, I don't know if he has a dream or how he winds up talking to Mr. Tinsel or Dr. Tinsel or whatever his honorific is.
Right.
Who, he has the revelation that, like, the music is important because of how it makes you feel, and that, like, this may not be your favorite. Like, cover songs are fine, and this may not be your favorite version of the album, but if you have kids and they listen to it, it'll be their favorite because it's the only one they know, and then maybe they'll destroy it and they'll make a new one, and essentially,
Cycle goes on.
exactly. um, so Gene comes out. He winds up off screen. What we don't see is he winds up like working on the tape his family made and like remixing it and like adding all of his own stuff to it too. And then he brings it down and presents it, and it sounds pretty cool, and everybody's happy. It's pretty
Mhm.
much
I mean, solid episode.
yeah.
I don't have any particular like fondness for it. Like it's, I mean, it's fine. I like it enough for it to not be the absolute lowest, but it doesn't really stick out to me. Like it feels like they were going for the same energy as they had with the Thanksgiving episode where Gene had food poisoning. It feels like they were kind of going for that
I could
vibe.
see, which is so weird because I feel like that episode like worked
It
for
was
me.
so
Like
good. That was a great episode.
it
And
was
this was after that. It just kind of fell on its face.
well because was that and that one was last season, right? The that was season 11, I want to say,
That would make sense. Yeah.
because I forget what the Thanksgiving episode was this time around. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much more to say about this episode. It was oh, it was the stuck in the kitchen episode for Thanksgiving.
That's right.
I don't really have much more to say about this one either. It was solid. There wasn't anything wrong with it. It was fine, but I'm not like you said, I don't feel any attachment to it. And I don't know if it's cuz it's new and I just need to give it a bit more time cuz that the nostalgia may just need to kick in, or I may just need to revisit it at a different time. But it's definitely kind of at the bottom of mine right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean,
I
like,
mean,
let's see. It's everybody. the Bleakin exists, so everybody else has been playing for second place all night anyway.
Yeah.
In my
Makes sense.
on my list.
Yeah, no worries. No, no. The Bleakening is you've sold me on Bleakening a little bit since we've started. Like I might give that I might just give that a separate another chance. Just because it sounds like it is really got some gems in it that I might have missed the first time.
I mean, who knows too? Because it's, I mean, getting a bit off topic, but like sometimes people just like shit. Maybe I just like it a lot, and it just hits me the right way. You know?
Yeah, no worries. I mean, yeah, that's this season's Christmas.
Yeah.
Are we taking predictions on next season's Christmas?
What kind of predictions?
I think
Are we guessing guest characters that'll be in it? Maybe.
No, no, no. I'm thinking plot premise.
Oh.
I think that next season's Christmas episode is going to involve the raccoons. I think the raccoons will be cold, and Linda's going to try to bring them in or do something like that.
I would love that, but I don't know. I feel like our last raccoon interaction. I don't know where it goes from there because it hasn't come. I don't think it's come up again since Vampire Disco Death Dance. The raccoons.
Because it's Big Mama Pudding Snatcher, right?
Right. Well, it's
Big Baby Pudding Snatcher.
There's Big Mama Pudding Snatcher, and there's God, I can't think of the king. Little King Trashmouth and his husband Gary. And in Vampire Disco Death Dance, the B story is Linda and Jean and Louise set up the restaurant for them in the alley, and they all get into a giant fight at the end. And I don't think we've seen the raccoons again since then.
Exactly, we're overdue. We need some more raccoon.
I'm gonna guess I don't. This is more of a bet than a guess that I think will actually happen, but I think we're due for a Tina-themed Christmas episode, or not a Tina-centric Christmas episode. Because I don't think we've gotten what we've got. We've got some Jean, we've got some Louise, we've got Linda-centric. But Tina hasn't really had a Christmas episode to herself.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe. I mean, I would hope they would do something more than just like a gift from Jimmy from Jeju.
Don't get me started. Listen, Valentine's Day. When we do our Valentine's Day episode, the second like thesis of that night is gonna be Jimmy Jr.'s a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, he definitely is, but like, there's so much in the Valentine's Day episodes that I feel like reinforces that. Like, there's a few Valentine's Day episodes where he's good and does good things, but then like the freaking Valentine Detto one, V for Valentine Detta,
right?
Our first introduction to Nat. Fuck him forever. He's such a piece of shit. So much.
Yeah. But hey, that's next month.
Yeah, that's next month. Just sneak preview for our opinions on the Valentine's Day episodes. But yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else to say. I've hit a talking wall.
Yeah, I mean, I am I'm swimming in Benadryl at the moment, so I am. I think that my brain is pretty well turned off at this point as well.
Cool. Outros.
Outro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm Zan. I do tabletop things in tabletop places with cool tabletop people. You can find me on the Black Feather Guild. You can also find me, here probably in a couple of weeks. We're doing the Valentine's Day specials, and check out my stuff that's in the chat. And check out the Faustian Network, where the Faustian Nonsense Network. That is going to be posting stuff on a podcast that I am a part of. So that's going to be super great. Definitely check that out. That's all my stuff.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm Pat. I'm a Tactric, like this channel that you have found. I'm same name on Twitter or on YouTube. I play TTRPGs and video games, and schedule has been a bit erratic the last few months. Hoping to get a more more normal schedule established with all that, so I can give y'all a little bit more of an idea of when I will have stuff going. But for sure, what I know is we will have on Twitter posted when we're going to do the Valentine's Day episode, and that'll probably be sometime in the next month or so. So that is one thing to look forward to, and then other more intermittent things in between. But yeah, thank y'all so much for joining us as always. I hope this was entertaining and fun for y'all because it was for us. And
Oh yeah.
have a great night, everybody.